right. Do the normal stuff. Go to the channel and mute. Okay, we are live. Yo, yo, yo. What is good, YouTube? What is good, gamers? What up, Twisted? How you doing? Nice to have you in the chat, my friend. What is good, everybody? It's your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you with another live stream. What's going on, Daddy? What's going on, my friend? Uh, Make sure you hit the like button, everyone. Help spread the content out to a wider audience. I would appreciate it. And make sure you hit the bell icon and stay notified when I upload new content. I would appreciate it. You got a bad echo? Just a second here. What about now? How's that? I did have a fan blasting in my face, so I don't know if that was something you might have been hearing. Shut the fan off. What's going on, Ryan? Hopefully that. Oh, okay. All right, I'm good. What's going on, Ryan? So, almost out of work. Cool. No problem, Danny. So, as I was saying, the normal introduction. Make sure you hit the like button to help spread the content to a wider audience. Make sure you hit the bell icon. Stay notified when I put out new content. If you are a new subscriber, make sure I hope you're enjoying the content. I'm sorry. I hope you're enjoying the content. Welcome to the channel. And Gunru Gaming will be joining me shortly. He's putting his kids to bed. So I'm going to go ahead and send him a link in the meantime. So let me do that real quick. Bear with me a second, people. See here, copy. Close that. Go to Twitter. Following. Let me see. It's Gunru Gaming. Send a direct message. Paste. Boom. While I'm at it, why not send one to Fatal Mephisto? Because I'd like to think that if he's free, he'd join us. So let me find him on here. Let's see. There he is. I'm about to say, let's do decided he don't like me anymore. Send a direct message. Paste. Send. All right. Okay, everybody. So as usual, the chat is open. So feel free to chime in with your thoughts, be it good or bad. And so I wanted to talk about Sony's E3. This topic is a few days old. As most of you know, Sony's pretty much putting emphasis on 4 games that we already know about that's coming out. I believe Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and The Last of Us 2. And because of this particular E3 that Sony is going to have, a lot of different thoughts have been going around of how they are perceiving this E3. And some thoughts are that Sony is having this relaxed, or I don't know what do you want to call it, type of E3 because they don't feel threatened by Microsoft, because Microsoft's not making an attempt to be competitive. So they feel like Sony is being complacent and not trying to keep the foot on Microsoft's neck. There are others who think that this is a sign that Sony is getting ready to bring this generation to an end and get ready to start the next generation. And for those who believe that Sony's not trying that hard, not coming out with both guns blazing, because Microsoft is because of the state of Microsoft right now, they're concerned about Sony being complacent. They are concerned about that. So I don't know. My thoughts, I'm kind of caught in the middle of the road on that one. Um, Going back, I don't know, maybe last year, um, or and even the beginning of this year, when we got closer and closer to all these exclusives that Sony was going to be coming out with this year. I felt this year for E3, one of two things was going to happen. Um, they were going to either come out and drop a huge bomb. What's going on, Craig Harris? Uh, you know, you as well, my friend. If you want to jump in, Craig, I'll send you a link. Everybody's giving their takes on E3, and I'm just doing the same. I'm just giving my take. I'm kind of caught in that gray area. Some people seem pretty firm in their beliefs. So, what's going on? All right, Craig. One link coming up to you, sir. Big money. Oh, I get it. You changed your name to Craig 30 mil Xbox sales. Paste and send. There you go, my friend. I was like, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, the dude must have fired me. What's up, Andre 6K? What's going on, my friend? I agree, I agree, Ryan. E3 isn't all about surprising gamers like Christmas. It's all about revealing their path. The quality lineup speaks for itself, and I totally agree. I felt like and I think I said this before in a previous podcast a while back. I think I had said that if Sony came out and laid an egg and didn't really show anything for this year's E3, it wouldn't really bother me because they have enough exclusives to keep us busy basically the rest of this generation. And if that, so with that being said, if they didn't really put out anything for this year's E3, it really wouldn't bother me. Now, next year is a different story. Although I think, I'm kind of leaning towards the belief that Sony is gearing up to close out this generation so they can get ready for the next generation. So that leads me to believe that we may get an announcement next E3 about, the PS5, when it may officially release. And I think they may have some trailers and stuff like that ready to go for it. Yeah, the games they're showing this, are huge, thanks, Ryan. So I think they're just I think they're gearing up and getting ready for the next generation. Um, and like I said, if they didn't, even if they didn't show a thing, it wouldn't bother me. Even if Sony didn't even show up to E3 this year, it wouldn't bug me because they got enough games to keep us busy the rest. They got enough games to keep us busy the rest of this year and all of next year. So, because of how many exclusives they coming out with, anybody who owns a PlayStation probably has, a ton of backlog games that it might take the rest of the generation for them to finish those games out. What's going on, Craig? Thanks for coming in. You want to take a minute to give your intro?
Yeah, it's Craig Harris. How's everybody doing tonight? Just getting caught up on everything. Do some ribs in the oven, so I got a little bit of time to cook while those cook. And I just saw you pop up and wanted to jump on and say what's up to you, brother.
No problem. I definitely agree. Definitely appreciate you popping in here on, especially out of nowhere with me sending you a link out of nowhere. I definitely appreciate it. But I did have my mind made up that I definitely wanted somebody to come in here and join me. One of my friends, Gunru Gaming, will be joining us shortly after he get his kids to bed.
Oh, okay. I can understand that.
Andre 6K, you're asking me, do I think Sony is getting cocky with this E3? That is really a tough question, because if I go with my belief that they're getting ready to close out this generation and get ready for the next generation next year, I would probably say no, they're not getting cocky, even though it looks that way. But I think that was a concern of a lot of people this year that Sony could conceivably get cocky, not just for E3, but cocky period, because they got all these bomb ass games coming out. Microsoft isn't being competitive, and it looks like Microsoft appears to be looking for a way out of the console business. So I can see where people would get concerned about Sony getting complacent and cocky.
Yeah, to Andre, look, here's two things you got to really realize, and that is that Sony has gained back all the market share it lost last generation, plus it's eaten into the Microsoft share. So they are where they were plus like 12%. That's when you compare them to Microsoft. They're at 70% of the market. So now when you put Nintendo in there, of course it comes down. They're at like 58 or something like that, because you're putting in, you're putting in another console. So are they getting cocky? No, Sony announced at their earnings meeting that they've crested. Okay, so the river has crested. They're on the backside of their sales. So, and we shout out to Randall Thor, because he did a video a couple days ago. Pretty much, yeah, Lincoln, you're saying it too. They are starting to close out this generation. I mean, they're going to still have some games. I mean, there's no doubt. And I do believe that some of the things that Sean Layton said got misconstrued. They're going to still have a traditional E3. It's just they're going to spend more time in deferencing these 4 games. That's it. And so you're still going to see other stuff. You're still going to see the independents. You're going to see the same stuff. You're just getting more time. Instead of them coming out on stage for maybe 3 minutes to announce their game, they may be out there for 8 to 10 minutes. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, but I do agree that people got to really understand that the console war is over. Okay, Sony has won the console war. If you want to go by the sheer volume of consoles they have out in the marketplace, they are the dominant market leader once again. So everything is back to where it was when the PS2 hit. So they've reset everything. They did like Thanos did with that Eye of Agamotto, that time stone. Wham! They turned it. So. But I mean, I don't know. I understand why people are disappointed, because some people thought, oh, they're going to show new hardware. And it's like, why? They've got PSVR. They will show that, of course, and that's the hardware you're going to see. There's no reason, like you said, Lincoln, a very good point. I still haven't been able to get to play Nier Automata or Neo or Persona, and I'm still playing MLB The Show. I mean, I still haven't got to play the not Dissida, but the other one that came out, Nino Kuni 2. I got a shit ton of games to play. So it is what it is. That's where it is. Gran Turismo, I can throw down on that now. So yeah, it's good. It's good. But I do agree with you, brother. So
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, jeez, I got so many games that I have not finished. And I'm still planning on buying more games, more exclusives. Spider-Man is a given, and then the lesser named games that's coming out this year, like Shenmue 3, that's a day one purchase for me. Yakuza 6 is a purchase for me once it comes down in price. And not to mention there's about maybe 4 or 5 PlayStation VR games that's on my radar. So again, if Sony would, to me, they wouldn't even have to come to E3 and it wouldn't bother me, because there's going to be enough games for the rest of this year and all of next year. And truth be told, if the generation starts at the end of 2019, the PlayStation 5 is a day one purchase for me, along with some of the games that's going to be launch titles. With that being said, there's a strong possibility that there are games that's in my backlog right now that I may not even ever get around to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he has some good questions. So shout out to Andre 6K. He's a good sub to have. He always asks good questions, help advance the conversation. But now I don't think they're being cocky. I just think that I think that the plane, when you're on an airplane, you go up, you crest a little bit, you fly straight, and then you start to descend. Sony is starting to descend. There's only so many bullets left in the gun. And there's people saying they want a Bloodborne 2, they want a Devil May Cry 5 or whatever it is. It's kind of like, okay, that's fine, but those games will probably be shown at, you said Paris Gaming Week. That's what I would be more concerned with. What they're going to show at Paris Gaming Week?
What they're going to show at PSX for that matter.
Yeah, PSX, because there's just not a whole lot of bullets left in the gun. If that's all I can really say. I mean, you may at Paris you'll get another update on their zombie game, Days Gone. But that's what would be concerning. Then you'll get more updates on these games that are coming out, because the only game that's gonna be there out of the big four is Spider-Man, like you mentioned, Lincoln. So but the Last of Us and all that's not gonna come out till 19. So you figure 19 will have The Last of Us. They'll have Ghost of Tsushima. They'll have Days Gone. And hell, I can't think of the other one. They'll have Kojima's game. So they still have 4 big titles for next year. But that's it. They'll be at the end. That plane will be on the landing pad at that point, pulling up to the demarcation line. So
and truth be told, what's going on, Sick? Same to you, my brother. If you free, I'll send you a link if you want to jump in here.
What's up, Sick?
Same deal. How about I just go ahead and send you the link? If you can make it, great. If you can't, I understand. All right. Okay, let me go here. Copy and paste. Copy. Get the one and only Sick Humor. Get him up in here too.
Oh yeah.
Direct message. Paste. There you are, my friend.
Why did Disney? Don't call me Danny. Why did Disney turn Lando into a robo pimp? That Lando's always been a pimp. If you read the books, Lando's always been. That's kind of what he's always been. He's been a ladies' man. So first thing he saw, remember when he saw Leia in Empire Strikes Back, he was like, "Well, what do we have here?"
Yeah, she kind of had that look on her face. She kind of had that look on her face, like if Han wasn't there, and Lando would have started spitting hot fire at her, he might have been able to take her home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was willing to take her. Yeah, you're right. So but that was a good. I saw that. That was a pretty good movie. I won't give nothing away. Don't come out for 2 more weeks. But you all should go check that out too. Put that on your list after you see that Avengers movie. Go check that out. And after you watch the 4K Black Panther on your Xbox, it's exclusive. Go check that Solo out.
Man, I've already watched Black Panther. I've already gotten a hold of the movie in 1080p. But my son does want to see it in 4K. So so next weekend when he comes over, we will rent it in 4K and check it out. As a matter of fact, if it's in 3D, I'll rent it in 3D and watch it on the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, I don't think it's in 3D or in HDR. At least the one I'm getting, I'm getting the 4K version. It does not have HDR on it.
Well, I'm fine with that, but I definitely like to see the game and see the movie in 3D, because I did that with Doctor Strange. I rented a 3D copy of that movie and watched it in 3D through the PlayStation VR, and that was pretty cool. It was like sitting in a theater. It looked like you were looking at a big 80-foot screen watching a 3D movie. It was pretty cool, and all the shit was coming out of the screen just like a 3D movie. So I'm definitely gonna do that. When I got time to myself, and have a couple of ice cold Gatorades or something, since I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. But Sick, I want to get your take on this E3 thing real quick, but I do want to add something real quick before I come back to Sick. Truth be told about Sony's E3. Now, truth be told, I think Sony would actually be criticized if they did not show gameplay or any additional footage of The Last of Us 2, The Ghost of Tsushima, and goddamn Kojima's game,
Death
Death
Stranding.
Stranding. Yeah, Death Stranding. I think if they didn't show additional footage of those 3 games, I think actually Sony would be criticized for that. Like to me, they don't have to show gameplay of Spider-Man because I think they've showed enough of that people pretty much have their minds made up whether they're going to buy the game or not. So I don't think showing any additional footage is going to, help or hurt them that much. But I think the others, yeah, I think if they didn't show gameplay of those other games that I mentioned, I think they would be criticized for it. So, go ahead and take the mic, Sick, and tell us what you think.
I think that Sony is doing what Microsoft has allowed them to do. Competition is great. Why is competition great? Because it makes all of these companies fight for your dollars. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, Microsoft has to show more than 4 or 5 really, 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 really good titles, because what's going to compete with what Sony already has coming out? Also, there were rumors that Devil May Cry 5 may be showing up. And I mean, I don't know how credible the rumors are because they're rumors, but it looks like it might have PlayStation exclusivity.
You think in terms of marketing rights or DLC?
Fatal Mephisto, he showed me this link, and the link was from Reset Era, and a guy staked his account. He staked his account on Reset Era against these rumors. He says he has inside information, and he said if this information does not turn out to be true, he will they will ban him. They will ban him from Reset Era. So I think that there's a little bit of credibility to it because of that particular matter. But then again, I mean, it could simply be somebody trolling as well. But then again, Reset Era isn't a website you can just get into like that. You know what I mean? So, if it is true, that's good. But also, I think that Sony is going to have some things that pop up that's going to surprise people. See, I think people are counting them out because they said that the majority of their focus is going to be on their major first-party IPs, which it should be, to be honest with you. Because why get on stage and promote other people's shit that you can't control what they do with those titles versus titles you can control because you're the one that's funding these titles? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think Sony's doing the right thing, to be honest with you. And as far as people being worried about Sony, you have no need to be worried, because not only are we going to get all of the nice AAA multi-plats, we're going to have the first party exclusives as well. And I mean, how many first party exclusives do they need to put out there for you to feel comfortable with what Sony's doing? I think Sony is doing a fantastic job of just providing what the gamers want, which is games. I mean, if you don't want games, if you want 4K Blu-rays, there's a console for you.
Not 4K exclusivity.
Not to mention that I think if Sony did come out with both guns blazing and gave us an all-out E3, and they was to show us new stuff, I think it would be for the next generation anyway. The same way that I think Microsoft is going to be showing stuff for the next generation. I think the difference is Microsoft is going to show you stuff for the next generation, but not going to tell you that it's for the next generation.
Yeah, and if that is the case, then that's perfectly fine, because at this point, I honestly don't care what Microsoft does. Whether they're having a good E3 or whether they're having a bad E3, it means absolutely nothing to me as a gamer. I'm no longer invested in what they have to offer. I don't care about the economy of what Microsoft has going on. Honestly, I'm looking more forward to Nintendo's E3, because they're going to be the only ones to actually push Sony. You know what I mean? And we see this thus far. I mean, what is Microsoft going to do? Come out and announce another mediocre ass title, or come out and announce Forza, Halo, and Gears again? I mean, come on, been there, done that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's time for something new. Now, if Microsoft get on stage and says that Splinter Cell is going to be completely exclusive to the Xbox, I'll be like, oh shit, okay, this is what I'm talking about.
That would be huge.
Yeah, I'll be like, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted from Microsoft from the beginning. I wanted them to not devalue the console, but I wanted them to make the console appealing to people who own the Xbox. And until they do that, I can care less. Well, actually, I could not care less about what Microsoft has going on and what they do. But if they surprise me and they come out and they drop bombshells, I might have to go get another Xbox. That's just how that shit work, bruh. That's how that shit works, bro. I'm not gonna keep something that's not doing nothing for me. But if you finally start doing something for me, which I highly doubt, so come on, it's a very small chance that I would get another Xbox because they've already made a promise to PC gamers that they're gonna give all their console exclusives to PC. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's really no reason for me to own an Xbox at this point. Then.
Okay, so so hold that for a second, because I'm gonna come back around and ask you to put a question on the back of what you just said. I want to answer something from Ryan real quick. He says, do you and Craig think that Death Stranding's revealed content at E3 will give us any idea what the story is about, or will Kojima keep the story secret still? That is a tough one because Death Stranding is the biggest riddle that I've ever seen. That's one of those things that I'm not even going to try to figure it out until they drop it right in front of us.
What's up, gamers?
What's going on? And we are joined by Gunru Gaming. So go ahead and shoot your intro real quick.
Yo, what's up? It's Gunru Game, and what's up, Sig? Lincoln. I don't know who else is in here, but what's
Craig
up?
Harris. Craig Harris.
What's up, Craig Harris? Man, glad to be on with you boys tonight. I didn't want to interrupt Sick while he was talking, but I've been in here for a few minutes listening to him.
Oh damn! You should have said something, bro. Sometimes I go off on a tangent, bro.
I was listening. I was taking your opinion, man. I was listening to what you were saying. So yeah, you had making a good point.
Okay, so I want to make a quick announcement real quick because I forgot. Tomorrow, I am doing the Lincoln Show tomorrow at 8 p.m. instead of the normal Thursday at 8 p.m. because my guest is going to be Game Over HD. Talk to him, and based on his schedule, tomorrow is the best day for us to do it. Thursday at 8 p.m. is always the target date, but it's never guaranteed because when I ask someone to come on to the show, I'm working around their schedule. So better that than not be able to have them on at all. So make sure you check us out tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. My questions are already laid out for Game Over HD. And then hopefully after that, hopefully I can get Jay Wags on this week also. I'm waiting to hear back from him. And then I have reached out to a YouTuber, and we'll see if he responds. I'm not going to mention who it is, but just know that I've reached out to a huge YouTuber to ask him to come on to the show. We'll see what he says. And, once I get confirmation from him or once I hear back from him, then I'll let you know.
I got a feeling I know who it is, and I think he'll say yes.
I mean, that's up to you if you want to take a guess, but
oh, no. I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay. But, but I'll still, I'll tell you what, you can send me a direct message on Twitter or text me direct since you have my phone number and let me know who you think the guest is, who I reached out to, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. But if I could get him to come on the show, it would be huge. So now to put that question on the back of what you said, Sick, you mentioned something about, if Microsoft did something that could get you to buy an Xbox again, would you buy an Xbox One X again? If they, could they put a game in your face that's like a Splinter Cell, something like that, that's enticing enough to get you to buy Xbox One X again?
No, they couldn't just put one game in my face. You have to put multiple games in my face. I'm not falling for the fucking bait and switch again, bruh. Not at all. It's not going to be a bait and switch situation. If they show me like 4 or 5 titles that is exclusively to the Xbox console, you can't get it anywhere else, I'll go and buy another fucking Xbox One X. What is it, $500, bro? That shit ain't going to kill me, bro.
Truth be told, I wish there was, God, even though I don't like them as a company, I wish they would attempt to be competitive. I wish they did have a lineup like Sony's or something like that, because I want a reason to have a premium console in my living room and another console in my bedroom. As of right now,
but Microsoft isn't. I mean, Microsoft isn't doing that. I do agree with Sick. Just to add on to it, yeah, if they come out and they say Splinter Cell is going to be only on the Xbox, even if it's just for 6 months, before it goes to PC, or never coming to the PlayStation. That's when I'd be like, okay, yeah, fine. That's one of my favorite series. So I do agree with that. But they said in 2015 that they wouldn't do that. They said every game that we got is going to the PC. So it D6, right? It does devalue the Xbox, because I talked to a PC guy at Best Buy the other day, and he said, look, you get a PC to run all your games at least 60 frames per second. He said, that's it. You may be at 800p, but you want to be at 60 frames per second. You know, so he said that's pretty much the way most PC gamers think. But I just think Microsoft, again, I mean, we're talking about Sony's E3, but and again, for me, Sony is fine. I mean, somebody did send a message on Twitter, and I agree with them. It's like, yeah, you should concentrate on the games. The Six right, concentrate on the software. We're gamers looking for gaming information and more, you know, about whatever game is coming out. So, and the hardware is fine. Sony's hardware is fine. I mean, I've yet to see a game on my Xbox X, and I have a 4K TV with HDR, a good one, that looks, I'm saying looks better than Horizon Zero Dawn. I've not seen that yet. So, you know, that goes for even their, maybe that multi-plat game, the Shadow of Mordor, maybe that one looks as good, you know, but overall, their games are fine. I'm looking forward to the Spider-Man. Maybe we get, like I said, Miles Morales is a playable character. Maybe we get something like that. Maybe we get Spider-Gwen. So just to see that and see what else they're adding to the game, what Insomniac's doing. That to me is exciting. Where they're going to add more stuff to MLB The Shows, what I've been hearing, more tracks and cars at Gran Turismo. Let's get it cracking. You know, this is what we're gaming for.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, you just getting here, Gunru, and the subject was about Sony's E3 and them focusing on 4 games. And some people think that they are getting complacent and they're concerned about that. Me, myself, I kind of agree with the notion that they're getting ready to close out this generation and get ready for the next generation. What are your thoughts on Sony's E3 coming up?
My thoughts on it is that, I mean, to me, Sony did enough, like you said, to get ready to close out this generation. So what the hell is people talking about that they getting complacent? How the hell are you getting complacent when you're doing all of this and bringing all of these games? And the 4 games they showing, you know, nobody's seen really much of them yet. So when they show these 4 games and Microsoft don't show any games, then what are they going to say then? You know what I'm saying? They still being complacent then, you know? I just think it's a joke, man. I think what it is, though, is that Microsoft fanboys are waiting for something bad to happen. What they should be doing is focusing on their own E3 and what Microsoft is bringing to the table. They shouldn't even be mentioning a word about Sony at all. Sony can walk on stage, show those 4 games, walk off the stage, and I'll be satisfied. I'll be, all right, cool. I'm looking for those next 4 games, you know? But I just think that these fanboys are desperate, man, and they just waiting for Sony's downfall, you know, or something negative for them to do, for them to, you know, say, look at this. Sony is frauds. They're not really what all is cracked up to be. I'm not buying into it, man. Not at all. They're closing out this generation strong, man. And these these Xbots, they need to just sit down, man, and watch what Microsoft doing this E3. That's what they should be worried about.
Here's the question that you have to ask yourself, right? Microsoft, the last big game they announced was Crackdown. That Crackdown has been announced since what, like 2014? I think they said something about it in 2014. Then we got like a gameplay thing in 2015, and it still hasn't come out yet. Right. I mean, so I agree with you, Gunru. If you're worried about what Sony doing and you have no interest in what Sony's doing, then you're probably worried about the wrong thing, because you're not even worried about your own best interests at this point.
I wouldn't care what. My whole focus would be on Microsoft and what they're doing. I wouldn't care if Sony didn't even have to have an E3. They could say, you know what, we ain't coming at all. Now, you know, Xbox need to be worried about Microsoft right now. That's what they need to be worried about.
Give me another one.
I definitely agree with that. And it's like I said before, even if Microsoft does show us a roadmap this year at E3, is it going to be a roadmap that includes this generation, or are they going to show us a bunch of stuff for the next generation, but not tell you that it's not going to be for the next generation? Because there's something in the back of my mind that has me believing that they might show some stuff, and it might be some good stuff. And like I said before, they might not tell you that it's for the next generation because they still want to try to sell a few more consoles before this generation closes. And that would be a good way to sell some consoles if they show you some bomb-ass games that's coming up for the next generation, but mislead you into thinking that it's for this generation.
No, they ain't that's me. There's no way it's happening. this generation.
No, I mean, but like what I'm saying is, let's say they show us a totally new IP, and they lead you into thinking that it's going to come out in early 2019, which would still be this generation. They could very well do something like that, when in actuality, the game might not actually come out until early 2020, which is probably going to be the next generation. But they're not going to tell you that. I don't think they're going to put a date on any of these games. I think they're going to mislead people into believing that these games are going to still come out before this generation is over, prompting people to jump up and go buy an Xbox, in anticipation of these games that are actually going to come out the next generation.
Well, again, Microsoft is not driving the car in this gen. So that next generation starts when Sony drops their PlayStation 5, because, that's when the next gen starts. I agree with you as far as a roadmap and things like that. And it's a good point. But again, what the fanboys are looking for is, where's their God of War type game? Basically, where's the game that's going to show the graphical prowess and the chutzpah of the Xbox X? Because they don't have that yet. So, and that's why they say, where's our Horizon Zero Dawn? Where's our God of War? What they mean is, where's our game? Because those games are pushing the PlayStation Pro like to its limits. They have said that. So, and each developer has come out and said, hey, we push this thing as far as we can get it. And that's what they're wanting. So I agree with you, Lincoln. If they show a game, they may show Fable. Let's just say they show a Fable 4 and it looks great, even if it's CGI. They're going to be like, okay, at least that game's coming. It is, coming soon, 2020. That will shut them up. They will say, oh, well, our games are coming out in 2020. So, and that's what they want as far as the fanboys. Now, the other people I know that have Xboxes, the people that represent the 95%, they're like, hey, look, this shit's over with. It's done. We're waiting on next gen, which I don't think they're going to get a console. I mean, as sick as flat ass with that before. I don't think Xbox is going to make another console. Not when there's going to be 100 million PlayStations and Switches in people's home. They're more worried about getting their shit onto those consoles, because you can just, why go ahead and build a console when the consoles are there? You just provide them software.
Well, what's up, Princess? How you doing? Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get my revenge, my rematch against you, whatever you want to call it, in Tekken. But I know we're gonna hook up soon. I know you're gonna give me another shot at the title here pretty soon. But Craig, as of what you were saying about Fable being an example, I think Fable is a prime example of what I'm talking about. I think they could very well show a CGI of Fable and then say coming soon.
Yeah,
to lead people into believing that it's going to be coming for this generation, and that will sell a couple of consoles, and then you end up finding out that the game's not going to come out until the next generation. And then as far as Sony starting the generation off, that I'm not sure about that, because Microsoft has this theory that whoever gets out the blocks first wins the generation. You saw how they broke their backs to get out in front of the PlayStation with the Xbox 360. And I think if Microsoft could have done it, they would have jumped out in front of the PlayStation 4 first. So I think it's going to be a foot race to who's going to release their console first at the end of 2019.
Hey, man, all I'm going to say is Microsoft is the Hulk and PlayStation is Thanos. All I'm gonna say. Hey, listen, I ain't even trying to be funny, but Microsoft's so scared to show numbers right now. It's almost like the way Hulk was scared to come out of fucking Bruce Banner. Like that.
He won't know more of that.
All makes sense. Microsoft with that green power, boy. It all makes sense. Power ain't coming out.
Man, he want no smoke, bro.
He don't want that smoke at all.
Wow. I still got, you talking about numbers. I still got VG charts pulled up. That was another conversation that I came in late on that you brought up earlier in the PlayStation Plus podcast, Sick, about how you believe that EA's numbers were accurate. Yeah. As far as that 29.5 million. Why don't you go ahead and give your take again and tell everybody why you think those numbers was accurate?
I think they're accurate because, okay, look, Microsoft and EA, they have a partnership, right? So EA has a vested interest, and they would require Microsoft to report, the possibility, of making Xbox profitable console with EA access. You know what I'm saying? So they would have to tell EA what potential they are facing, and they can't go to EA and be like, "Hey, we got 48 million Xbox Live accounts." You know what I'm saying? They can't give them stupid ass numbers like that. They have to go to them and give them some tangible numbers. Because if you think about it, not only that, Microsoft has a lot of deals with EA as well. They have the Battlefield 1 deal. They have the Madden deal. They also had, there was another EA game. I think they had the Titanfall deal. Didn't they have the Titanfall deal? I'm sure they had the Titanfall deal.
And I'm going to get to that in a second because you're actually making a good point.
Yeah, and okay, so me being a person who's taking a risk by giving you these deals, why would I not ask you how many units you have sold if I don't know those numbers myself? That makes absolutely no fucking sense. I'm going to want to know what's the possibility of me being prosperous by giving you this deal.
And
that.
Go ahead, Craig.
Well, I was just gonna say, I thought they said it was the numbers at the end of 17.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'm trying to told people. I said, look, they don't know as far as 18. That's why Phil Spencer came out. That was the funniest thing I saw. Oh no, those numbers aren't real. Then what are the real numbers? Oh yeah, I can't tell you. And he walks out. I mean, that's hilarious,
Okay, look, now everybody, we're going to get to that in a second. I want everybody to keep that 29.5 million in the back of their head, because in a minute I'm getting ready to show y'all some numbers and do some math with y'all, do some supporter rock shit. But Sick, you made an excellent point, because when now that I stop and think about it, now that I remember when the generation first started and the first Titanfall was exclusive to the Xbox, and from what I understand, Sony had a meeting with EA and showed them the potential that that Titanfall could have done had it been on the PlayStation as well.
Exactly, bro.
So I know they must have went to them and said, "Hey, we're selling this much. We have a sizable lead over the Xbox. The game would have been more successful on our platform." And there you have it. Titanfall 2 came out on both platforms. So what you said, Sick, makes a lot of sense. A tremendous amount of sense. And so with that being said, so as I was telling people, keep that 29.5 million in the back of the head. I'm going to show my screen. I'm going to share my screen with everybody, and I'm going to show y'all something. Share, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to go over here to VG charts. And let me blow this screen up so y'all can see it. Should we go? I'm at 150. I'd like to think, is that big enough for y'all to see that? Can you see those numbers?
No. Yeah. Okay. That's we can see that. Well,
yeah, I'm at 150%. I'll blow it up one more time to 175.
I can see it.
Okay, so like you see where my cursor is over here. You see the lifetime numbers that they're talking about, the 37.3 million. So let's wipe that number out and act like that number doesn't exist. Let's go back to the December of 2017 when EA reported that they were doing 29.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start from there. Let's say as of December 31st, 2017, they were sitting at 29.5 million. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now let me go down here. You see these right here? You see these weekly hardware chart numbers?
Yep.
I'll even blow it up one more time to make sure everybody sees it. So I blew this shit up to 200%. You see those numbers right there? This is as of April 28th.
Hey, click on your icon, Lincoln, on the Hangouts, because if like we make any type of noise, it flips over to our screen instead of yours.
Okay.
So click your screen, click your avatar. Yep. And it should stay up there.
Okay. So I've blown this up to 200%. Are y'all seeing this weekly hardware chart as of April 28th?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this is for 1 week. You see that the PS4 did, 83, almost 84,000 in North America. You see the Switch did, 65. The Xbox One did 52. So You go over here to Japan for Xbox One. You know, they did 157 for 1 week. It is always like that. You know, every week they do 200 or less over in Japan. So I think Randall Thor was damage controlling when he tried to say that the Japanese numbers had not factored in yet. Based on those numbers, I'm not even sure that the Xbox One has even sold 1 million units in Japan.
It hasn't.
And so
I don't think it even crossed 100,000 yet. So that's
okay. So what the number that I want people to focus on right now is the global number for the Xbox One X, for the Xbox One brand altogether. Right there, you see that they have done 83,571. So for the sake of making the numbers a little bit easier, let's say they did 84,000. Let's say that they averaged that much since January 1st. Let's say that they averaged 84,000 since January 1st of this year. So while I'm still screen sharing, let me see. So that's what, 4 months? January, February, March, April. So we'll say that's what, 16 weeks?
Yep.
So let me pull out this calculator.
Nah, you can't do that. I'm going to tell you why you can't do that right now. Because one of these months, I don't know if it was January or February, they sold over 1 million that particular month.
Okay. So we'll
So I know 1 month, I don't know if it was February or January. One of those 2 months they sold 1 million, and then the rest of them was like normal numbers. So I would give them from
So let me do these numbers.
Now,
let me do these.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say, so let me do these numbers and we'll add 1 million to it.
Okay.
So let me pull that calculator back up again and go 16 weeks times 84,000 gives us 1.34. So yeah, actually, if you add the million to that, that 32 million that you came up with that they might be sitting on right now is pretty close. So if you add that million in that you just said right there, that would have them sitting on 2.3 million, which would actually have them sitting close to 32 million. So actually, you're right, Sick. You damn close.
Well, here's the thing. If people would have just did what I said in the beginning, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. If you would have went back and found that video where they actually announced the last time they announced how many numbers that they did, and then you just looked at the NPDs from month to month leading up to, this current year, you would have kind of had an idea of what they've been selling, because European numbers, you can find those. Japan numbers, you can find those. It's just the reason why it's so hard to figure out what Microsoft is doing is because they just stopped outright reporting, console sales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the only time you do that is when you're getting your ass stomped into a fucking mud hole, dude. That's the only time you stop reporting numbers like that. I mean, honestly, it's funny because when they stopped reporting numbers, they started reporting like how many combos were done in Killer Instinct and how many zombies was killed in Dead Rising. And I don't know how many races was won and shit like that in Forza. Like, that's when you knew shit was just getting like out of hand, just getting out of control, bro.
You know what? While we're on the subject of numbers, that was something that Fatal Mephisto, I believe, brought up in Foxy Humor's podcast. I guess he showed a VG charts page where I guess Sea of Thieves sold 120,000 within its first 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, but who thought any different though, Lincoln? See, that's the weird part about it. When Microsoft said 2 million players, media outlets ran with 2 million sales. And I kept telling people they're saying players, not sales. Players, not sales. When those Game Pass trials ran out, all of a sudden all the players disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because unique players with me and Sick and Ian, I think Fatal, we were all playing one day. Well, we were all unique users, playing. That's what they reported. Again, it's been so bad, like Six said. The numbers are so bad, Microsoft has changed the metric for the way they judge success. They don't judge it by sales. They judge it by engagements. And what's crazy is that, I mean, it's not crazy. What was so wild was that how fast their fanboys adapted to that. I mean, it was like overnight they started adapting to that. Because they started talking about how much money Microsoft made with the Xbox. that stems from fear of them canceling the Xbox product. You know, so because they don't like, oh, you're making money, don't cancel it. You know, you need to invest into it. You know, because you're making money. That's kind of the way they're reacting out of fear. So,
Gunru, I want your take on this real quick, but first I want to answer right here from Ryan. He says he wonders how much the Red Ring of Death units helped fluff the last gen's numbers. I think that probably accounted for almost half of their numbers.
Over half, because the failure rate was like 70%.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Because I can, you know, I said it before. Whether I was getting them repaired and selling them, or whether I was just replacing one that quit on me, I need a calculator to tell you how many Red Ring of Death 360s passed through my hand.
I know you did go through a lot. I went through 2 of them right away too, like instantly.
Yeah. And I stayed in that ecosystem when the black Xbox came out, when what do they call him, Donnie D walked out there, and I don't know if that was 2011 or 2012, where he said this is a new Xbox and it's on its way to the store right now. And so within 3 days of him saying that, I had one. I went right up to Best Buy and I bought one right there. But it's it counted. You have 6 right. The only reason why they didn't get a class action lawsuit, Microsoft, is because they replaced them for free. That's why, and people are like, well, that's good customer service. No, they didn't want to get a class action lawsuit because the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Better Business Bureau were all coming in on them. They're like, look, we're going to replace them for free. And so they had to back off. It's kind of like, all right, but
I heard, you know, I need to add something to that, because first of all, the only reason why I even stayed in the Xbox ecosystem when the Red Ring started becoming a problem is because my Xboxes were modified and I was burning my own games for them. And I was getting these games like 2 weeks before the retailers were, you know, and Gunru can attest to that, you know. So that's the only reason I stayed in the ecosystem, because I was getting games and did not have to pay for them.
Now, so you mean to tell me that you were a pirate?
Yes.
The thing that they blame PC gamers for?
Yes. Before I stopped burning games, I had about 300 games. And the only reason why I stopped burning the games when I did, because it was such a time-consuming process. The process of downloading a game, extracting the files with, with these zippers, unzipping the files and extracting them. And then I have to run a program through there. So the Xbox doesn't know that it's a burnt game. I had to run a program through there, and then I had to burn it. That whole process took 4 to 6 hours for just one game. And I wasn't getting any sleep because I was burning so many games. And after a while, just like, I wasn't even playing these games. I was burning them. I play them for 5 minutes and then I throw them in a pile, so I was selling the games. That's the only reason why I was still, staying up and burning these games. And so once business started drying up, I wasn't burning them as much. So now the reason why I brought that up is because when Microsoft first caught on to people pirating games, they were banning Xbox Live accounts, and they were banning Xbox 360s themselves from going on Xbox Live. And I was one of them. My original name on the Xbox has been banned. And I had like maybe 2 Xboxes that were banned. From what I understand, like once a month, they would send like a security check out. And if the Xbox didn't come back with the right answers or something like that from the security checks, they would ban the box. It's not a case that they detected that the box was modified. It's that the box didn't send back the right answers to the security checks. So a lot of people ended up getting banned. And from what I heard about that somebody took Microsoft to court because I guess their mentality was that once I buy something and take it home, I can do with it whatever I want. I can modify it, no different than buying a car. I can put cams on it and dual exhaust and stuff like that. That's the way they looked at it. That once I buy something, I can do what I want with it, in my home. So I guess Microsoft stopped banning consoles. So, that was, I made that longer than what I was supposed to, but that was going back to what I was, try to add to what Craig was saying about, the class action suits, that they have been, from what I understand, they had been sued before, or at least somebody was attempting to take them to court.
Wait. But hold on. Hold the phone. You mean to tell me that Xbox fans were pirates?
Shit.
You mean to tell me that Xbox fans had hackers on their box? No way.
That is an understatement.
No way. No. This is the reason why I laugh every time I hear especially fucking Xbox console peasants. Because that's what the fuck you are at this point. You're just console peasants. That's why I laugh every time they talk about, well, PC has all these hackers. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up, bro. If you only paid attention, if you were only self-aware, you would know that this ain't a PC thing. That this was very heavy on the fucking Xbox. Very heavy, especially with the Call of Duty games. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want to know how many God mode mods and all this shit. Freaking Grand Theft Auto, bro. They had shit where you can give yourself trillions of dollars.
I mean, I remember that one.
We did it too. We did that too.
Come on, dog.
No, I want to respond to Ryan real quick. He said, "What happens to a banned console? Can you start a new account, or is your IP address banned?" No, the IP address is not banned, but the console is banned. So what I would do, whenever I would get a console that got banned, I would sell the console to somebody that I knew did not have internet and had no intentions of getting internet, because you could still play the games. You could still play those burnt games on the modified 360. You just couldn't go online with it if it was banned. So I would go to somebody and tell them, hey, look, this console has been banned from Xbox Live, but you can still play games on it. So if you have no intentions of going on the internet, if you have no intentions of getting internet, then that doesn't affect you. Are you still interested in buying a console? And they would buy it. And then I would jump on Craigslist and I would buy another console that had the red rings of death. I would take it to a guy, have him fix it. I'd pay him $25 to fix the console. Then I'd pay him another $25 to modify the console so it can play burnt games. And then I go right back to playing again. I can't tell you how many 360s passed through my hands. And now, and to add about the Call of Duty thing, Activision was one of the companies that said something to Microsoft about pirating, because they were highly upset that because of pirates, they were losing a lot of sales. So they had threatened Microsoft, or not threatened Microsoft. They kind of threatened them directly and told them that if they didn't do something about the pirating, that they were considering taking the Call of Duty franchises over to the PlayStation and let that game become a PlayStation exclusive. Because when this pirating was going on, a lot of publishers was talking to Microsoft about it, and Microsoft was only trying to protect their own games, Forza and Gears and Halo. And that's what prompted EA to do that thing where if you got hold of a game that wasn't brand new, like a Madden game, you had to buy the Madden season pass to play it online. That's how they combated the pirating. So when you buy a game brand new and you open it up, there's a code in there. You put that code in there and you can play the game online. If you did not have that code, you had to buy one for $10 in order to go online. So that's what I was having to do. I was burning Madden games, and because I didn't have a code, I had to pay $10 to play it online, which I thought was a small price to pay versus buying a game for $60.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Lincoln Clay was one of those people that would come to me. I'm going to explain this in much, much more detail, right? Mm-hmm. Because you've explained a lot of stuff, but then you left out a ton of stuff. All right. So what would happen is I would literally go on Craigslist and I would buy these banned consoles. Then all I would do is I would flash the NAND with the serial number from a NAND that had the red ring of death, one that was unfixable, not the basic one, but one that was just really just a waste of time to even try to fix it. And then I would take all of the serial number and information from that particular motherboard, and I would transfer it to the other motherboard. Therefore, that particular console would no longer be banned. Now, in spite of that, what Lincoln is talking about is flashing the CD drives. What would happen is motherfuckers would take the drives out of the Xbox 360 console, connect it to a SATA, basically a SATA connector to the computer, and then you would use this little it's like a needle pin thing to probe certain points on the CD-ROM drive, and you could literally extract the firmware from that CD-ROM drive. Once you extracted the firmware from that CD-ROM drive, you could then take that firmware, take the keys and everything, because the keys from the CD-ROM drive had to match that of the motherboard, or the CD-ROM drive would not work with that motherboard. So what would happen in this instance, or in this case, is that you would essentially change the software in the CD-ROM drive so that it could read dual layer CDs, dual layer CD-ROMs or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm saying CD-ROMs, DVDs, right? Now, what would happen is you could scour the internet. You could go to so many different sites. You had Xbox 360, X360ISO.com. You had a host of like pirate sites that you can go to, like the Pirate Bay or whatever. The thing is, you didn't want to get a fucked up copy of a game, because there were people who were literally putting out bad rips of games, so that when your CD-ROM drive plays that disc, it's not going to have the proper authentication checks, and that would literally be detected by Microsoft, and they would ban the shit out of your console. Now, they had something called ABGX 360.
Yep, I remember
what
that.
That would do is you would basically insert the ISO file into this software, and it would check every aspect of that ISO file to make sure that it matched what was in the database. Now, once you did that, the game was good to go, and you literally had no problem. See, I far surpassed that. I exceeded that. I went Super Saiyan fucking what did they call that last stage of Super Saiyan? He went Super Saiyan, god damn it. The thing where he could literally not even look at the fucking fighters, and he would be oblivious to what the fuck was going on, but he could dodge them. I forgot it. Super Instinct or some shit like that. I pretty much went Super Instinct with this. So I went even a step further to where I didn't have to modify the drive at all. I could keep the regular drive in there. And then you guys saw it. You asked me what that little thing was on the back of the Xbox 360 when I showed y'all. That was actually something that was connected on the inside of the Xbox to the CD-ROM drive, and it emulated the CD-ROM drive and allowed you to play backups directly from a hard drive. So that's what that was. So I didn't need to go through any of that anymore. I would still run it through ABGX 360, but the games would then, you know, play directly from the hard drive. Now, I made a lot of money during the 360 time, so I can't be mad at the 360 at all, man. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. At one point, I worked absolutely nowhere, and all I did was fixed Red Ring of Death Xbox 360s and modded 360s, and I had recurring customers that would fucking buy these goddamn games. So it was just like a wonderful fucking time during the 360 area. So I have no problem with how shitty the 360 was. That shit was a moneymaker.
So with that being said, Craig, I would have been your biggest customer, because I would have been the middleman. I would have been the guy that people bring their 360s to me. I'll tell them, hey, I know a guy that can modify your Xbox. He charges, you know, X amount of dollars, $25 or whatever like that. And then I would tell them, you pay him the $25 to modify your box. I'm not even trying to, you know, get anything off the top. I'm not even trying to throw anything on top of it, because I'm counting on you to buy the games from me, because I'll sell the games to you for $10. And that's how I was making the money. I was the middleman. So the only computer work that I was doing was burning the games. You know, I had no interest in learning how to modify the Xboxes themselves, because it was already taking up too much of my time burning the games.
Yeah, and the game burning literally took fucking forever, and you had to have a special drive with special firmware to even fucking burn the games. It's fucking crazy, man.
Which I had that, because the guy was modified.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, didn't you go out and buy all of that stuff that you needed so you can continue to do it?
Well, the guy that modified the guy that was modifying my Xboxes, when I told him that I wanted to burn games, he told me go out and buy this particular brand of CD drive, and then I have to modify it, you know, so you can burn it. And that's what I did, you know. So I had shit, I think my computer had about 3 burners on it. So I would use that modified CD drive to burn the master copy, and then I would use the other 2 drives to make duplicates at the same time to try to shorten the time of this shit.
I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of insight into what was needed to connect to the computer. It looks fucking crazy as shit.
You getting ready to share the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let me highlight you let me know when you got it.
Whenever I figure out what the fuck I'm doing in this Hangout. I don't use Hangouts like that, so I don't know why. It just seems so fucking weird. Let's see. Screen share? No, not a screen share. No, what am I doing? I'm not trying to share my screen. Where am I? Why do I not see myself? Oh, okay. There I am. All right, cool. Let's see. And for some reason, my webcam is not working. I have absolutely no idea why, though. Oh, there we go. This is what was used. I know it looks weird as hell because I haven't used it in a long ass time, but this would plug into the Molex power connector. This would be what you would use to probe, and this would be what connected to your computer, which allowed it to read your drive. Fucking crazy.
Wow.
Yep.
That's all middleman, you know, and I was, like I said, I was the middleman. So I didn't even try to, you know, learn that shit because to me, you know, my plate was already overflowing just from burning games. And then whenever somebody would come back and tell me that they had a game they wouldn't play, then I'd have to go back and check my my master and try to find out if something was wrong with the master, if something was wrong with my burner, if it was something wrong with their 360, why I wasn't playing it. So I had to, you know, do a lot of reburns and stuff like that. That shit took up a lot of time too.
Facts. And then once that fucking laser in that CD drive started to go bad, oh, fuck you. Like, you were wasting CD after CD after CD.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Once you get everything in place and you're ready to make that burn, you had to use the verbatim dual layer disc because they were supposed to be the best ones for it. And you had to set the burner at the slowest possible speed. So burning just one game would take about 50 minutes.
Yep. That is facts.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, but you're right. It was because of that. That's why I stayed in the Xbox ecosystem, because that Red Rings had me furious the way Microsoft, bullshitted me. You know, I'm not gonna go into that story again. You know, I told that story 1,000 times, but Microsoft fucked me over. You know, long story short, and I was about to go over to the Sony ecosystem full time, but once I became a pirate, then I figured, hey, they fucked me. Let me fuck them right back.
Facts.
Yeah.
How about you, Craig or Gunru? Was any of y'all on board with any of that stuff back then? Were y'all familiar with any of that stuff going on back then?
Yeah, I was just a customer. I just bought the games, and I let someone.
So all y'all was pirates, and all y'all was on the 360. Y'all love Sea of Thieves, huh?
Gunru, you know, I dealt with him personally back then. I gave him some games. I sold him a couple of games. I gave him insight to what I was doing and that kind of shit, you know, because I was burning movies before I was burning games. So
I would still buy physical retail copies of games that were my favorite, like the Halos and the Gears. I went and still, paid the 60 and bought those. It was just the games that I just like, the sports titles, because I've never been a fan of just the yearly releases, and Madden was just getting ridiculously old and stale. And I just like, it was cool just to get a $10 copy of Madden, but I still supported the exclusive games, and the games that I really value, like the Splinter Cells and stuff like that.
Right.
I really didn't give a crap about Call of Duty because that was another one that was just, just a rehash game, you know, every year. So I got a copy of that, got a copy of them sports titles, and that's what I did.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely. To be honest with you, like I said, it was a very lucrative time during the 360 period, man. I mean, if you wanted to start up a little business, bro, like that shit would make you tons of goddamn money, man. Oh my God. And look at Lincoln. Lincoln didn't even have to have the knowledge that I had, and he was still benefiting from 360 owners. It was a great time during the 360 period. I'm not gonna even lie. Like I said, it was great for multiple reasons, right? At that time, Microsoft was actually trying. That's number one.
Yep.
Number two, they were breaking shit. You know what I'm saying? And like they were fucking shit up. Like I'm not gonna tell you how many times they released like updates and shit on the 360, and it completely like bricked somebody's console. Like that shit was hilarious, bro. It was goddamn hilarious. The band hammer is what they used to call it, and that used to be Major Nelson's job. Major Nelson used to take care of all of the goddamn band hammers. So they used to ban thousands of fucking people, bro. Oh my God. And what would happen is these people would get banned and they would do exactly what Lincoln Clay said. They would jump on the internet and they would try to sell their box. I would buy their box because nothing was wrong with the box other than the fact that it was banned. And then what I would do is I would go and buy another box because look, they were so cheap. You can get them for like $20. You could get the whole console for like $20, bro, because people was just trying to get rid of them. So nothing was wrong with it. It didn't have the red ring of death, and all you had to do was replace the serial number from the NAND. And you had a perfectly working console after that. And I'm like, dude, this is a gold mine. And then I would turn around after I fixed the console and resell the console for $150. Yeah. And I only paid $20 for it. I'm telling you, y'all just don't understand how crazy it was. Y'all don't understand how crazy it was.
Y'all was the GameStop of
now Ryan, you know, I see right here you put an LOL after it, but you said maybe you pirates are the reason Xbox won't make new games. They're worried you'll rip them. You know, I mean, you make, you know, I get that you're cracking a joke out of them, but I think that's why Microsoft ran so hard with the DRM this generation. And I think that's that, because I think that's why they had that fucked up reveal about no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that, you can't loan a game to a friend, you know, you had to have the 24-hour check-in. I think all that stuff was to combat the pirating that went on through the 360 generation.
Yeah, you're 100% correct about that. They have tried to come out and say, well, them doing DRM, that's what the developers wanted. So when SICK said, hey, look, Activision threatened to take away Call of Duty unless they did something about the piracy, that makes sense. But, I mean, they took it away anyway. You know, they're like, man, we got to get out of this trash bin with Microsoft. So even though Microsoft did that, Call of Duty, what, the following year?
Yeah.
14 got announced to go to and that's one of the first big hashtags I remember. And I came home and it said hashtag Xbox or we riot. That's the first it was Call of Duty. But what had happened, it was the Call of Duty players who actually were playing in leagues. And they got mad because they said now they all have to go out, they have to go out and get PlayStations. And if you type that in YouTube, your YouTube search one, it still comes up. You know, this is like he said, this is ridiculous. Now we all have to go buy PlayStations. This is going to be hashtag Xbox or we riot. You know, and it's one of the funniest things I remember.
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy? Activision was making all kind of threats last generation. They told PlayStation that they weren't gonna put fucking Call of Duty if they couldn't get these numbers up for the PlayStation 3. They told Xbox they was gonna pull Call of Duty because of the piracy. Because I remember too, I believe it was World at War, or it was one of the Modern Warfare games. That shit leaked like a month before the game was actually supposed to hit the streets, and motherfuckers was playing that game.
I remember them days. And real quick, Ryan said something about the Kinect was even keeping an eye on us. Hey, I didn't give a fuck about the Kinect last generation. I played Kinect bowling in my fucking underwear. I didn't give a fuck about that Kinect.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all missed so much in the 360 era, man. During the 360 era, man, everybody thought 360 was so great. I'm looking at the fact that I ain't gonna even lie, that console was a trash ass console in every sense of the fucking word. I'm not gonna lie, it did have the better multiplats and stuff like that. But as far as the hardware inside that motherfucker, oh, it was so cheap. It was so cheap.
Yeah.
When you saw the way that you had to pop that thing open and the way you had to pull the little grill off the sides with
oh my god. and I was terrible at pulling the skin off, because I would always bend the fuck out of the metal, the inner skin. I would always bend the shit out of that metal. So when I went to go put the skin back on, it would never fit right, because I was kind of brutal and savage at taking the thing apart.
You had to stop with that.
Hey, no, get this. I had a 360, right? And the disc drive, the you know, the little rubber band, you know, the belt inside of it that opens and closes the door.
Those were the Hitachi drives that had that issue too.
It had worn out, so the thing, so my disc was getting stuck in there, that it wouldn't eject.
Yep.
So Titanfall wanted me to cuss more. Well, check this motherfucking shit out.
Sound like you straight out of Detroit, bro.
No, I had this motherfucking 360 that wouldn't eject the motherfucking games. So I had to. So what I did was I took the whole thing apart. I even took the case off of the CD drive. So if the shit didn't want to eject, I could just push the shit open with my finger. So I sat there with a whole 360, you know, that looked like the Terminator. Half the Terminator face was ate off and shit like that. Playing my games on it. And then when I finally got tired of it, I put the shit back together and sold it.
Facts. Well, here's the thing, man. And another thing that y'all don't know, but y'all probably kind of knew if you own multiple Xboxes, they had so many revisions of the Xbox 360. They all look the same on the outside, but on the inside, the shit was different. They had different CD-ROM drives. They had what was called the light-on drives. They had,
I remember those.
They had BenQ drives. They had Hitachi drives. They had shit, what was the other ones? Was it Toshiba drives? Or was it Samsung? I think it was Samsung. I can't remember,
drives. But it seemed like if I'm not, you know, because I didn't flash it, I'm sure you'll know this quick, but I heard like different things had to be done to different
You did. Yeah.
And not only that, some of those I think it was the BenQs or the Hitachi drives. One of those was immune to the authentication checks.
That was the Hitachi drives, because the BenQ drives came later in the life cycle. The Lighton drives were the last drives that they had, and they had the Samsung drives in there as well. But they switched those drives so much, and honestly, the only good drives were the Light-ons and the BenQs. Those were the only good drives. The Hitachi was trash. The Samsung was trash. They had like different versions of the Samsung drives. Trash. They were trash, bro.
And before the generation was over, and Gunru will attest to this, all my friends, they either knew how to burn games themselves, or they had access to someone that could get them burnt games. So I wasn't their only outlet. So,
that shit was all over Craigslist too.
Right. And so before the generation was over, all my friends had modified Xboxes. And it got to the point where, you know, they was just like trying any old game. Yo, y'all got to try this game. And all of us would try the game for about an hour before we move on to something else. That's one of the things that kind of fucked our crew up, because we got spoiled from that shit. You know, we used to be a unit on the Xbox. Our group, we still together to this day. We call the Deuce Mob. You know, it's composed of me and Gunru and about, I say our core members is like still like 8 or 9 other dudes. We had a lot of people come through the years that's not even, real Deuce Mobbers, but was claiming that tag. But anyway, when we started getting hold of pirated games and shit like that, that kind of fucked us up, because in the beginning, man, all of us would buy a game and we play that game for about 2 months. But once we got involved in these burning games and shit like that, that kind of started us down the road of everybody going their own way in terms of what they play, and kind of like it didn't break us up, but we didn't come together and play games like we used to.
Because y'all had access to a whole bunch of shit. The more you have access, the least you actually wanted, if you think about it. Instead of having to go out and spend, let's say, $60 on a game or $50 on a game, you could literally get that game for free. The game doesn't have value anymore. It doesn't have as much value as you would have had if you had to actually pay some money. If you actually had to pay some money, you would be trying to do anything to get your money's worth out of that game. But since you didn't pay anything for it, you're like, this shit is trash. Throw it to the side, move on.
Right. And then you got people on Craigslist who were selling games, for $30 or something like that. The legitimate store copies. But because I was burning my own copies, I was like, man, this motherfucker's smoking rocks. Ain't no way I paid $30 for this motherfucking game.
No, man, it was some weird times back then, though. I mean, honestly, that was like one generation where I was like, damn, this shit was like, it was bad, man. It was bad on so many levels. So when Microsoft did start talking about that DRM, this generation, I kind of knew why they were doing it. Because come on, they knew what the hell was going on last generation. The majority of people may have not known what was going on, but they knew what was going on last generation, bro. And that's the reason why there's a whole bunch of people, like even right now, they have people with modded PlayStations, modded PlayStation 4s, and those PlayStations can currently run modded games. And I'm just like, God damn. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell Sony gonna do. Right now, they have modded Nintendo Switches. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a fuck about the Xbox, so they're not even trying to mod that shit. Nobody, what are you gonna mod it for? What are you gonna get from it like that? And this is not to poke fun at the Xbox, bro. It really isn't. But just like last generation, the PS3 was not a high priority because the Xbox was the major console.
Agreed. And not only that, from what I understand, the PS3 could be modded, but I guess for whatever reason you couldn't burn any discs. You had the way you had to mod it. This was the way it came back to me though. The way you modded it, you had to flash it, and then you would have to put all your games on an external hard drive and play them that way.
Nope. It could actually read discs. You could actually make it to the point where it'll read even your old ass disc on games that weren't even on systems that weren't even backwards compatible. Like they did a lot with the PS3. They did a lot with the PS3. The PS3, once they finally modded it, it was hard as shit to do though. See, that's where they got you. See, Sony ain't stupid. Microsoft was dumb as fuck because they were able to manipulate the drive in there. They couldn't really manipulate Sony's drive to that extent. So what they did is they manipulated the firmware, and there was a hardware mod that you could do to actually downgrade the firmware. And once you downgraded the firmware, then you could actually spoof the firmware so it appears to be on the correct firmware. So when the Sony network check it, it wouldn't know that the system is modded, but you could still play all your normal games and you could play burnt games.
I think that's I think that because Microsoft tried so hard to get the jump on the PS3 that last generation, that they left themselves wide open for that shit to happen. I just don't think they did a thorough job on that console. But back that last generation, there wasn't a console that couldn't be modded because the I think it was the Wii U could be modded, but it wasn't. But it was not worth the risk to me because from what I was hearing,
there was no risk.
Well, from what I was understanding, if you modded it, if you attempted to mod it and it was caught by their authentication checks, it would brick the console.
Here's the thing. Let me explain something to you right now about that, Lincoln. When it comes to the Wii U was so terrible, you didn't even need to mod the system, bro. They actually exploited the Wii U to the point where you could add a launcher to the Wii U, and it would literally pretty much, you could go through the web browser to launch homebrew shit. You didn't even have to actually really do anything for the Wii U. For the Wii, however, that was different. You had to do this software mod to actually add the homebrew channel.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on the Wii U, you didn't have to do that. You literally go through the browser and it launches some shit from the SD card. You didn't even have to install it on the Wii U. That's how bad it was. You didn't have to install it on the Wii U. That is fucking crazy, dude.
Oh, you know what? I remember another mod where you had where you could order one of those memory cards that had a cord attached to it that, you know, the other end attaches to the computer or some shit like that. Where you could run a bunch of games into the Wii or Wii U or something like that.
You don't even have to do that, dude. You ain't even got to go that far. It got so bad to the point where they had it where that you can literally get Wii virtual store shit and just literally put it directly on the console.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Fennel Mephisto, the Canadian Grizzly Bear. If you wanted to jump in here, I sent you a link as soon as this started, so check your Twitter. What about you, Craig? I mean, was you caught up in any of this stuff last generation?
Nah, Craig went about that life.
He went about that life.
Right there. I mean, I knew people that had modded Xboxes, but just kind of like, well, what difference does that make? You know, it's garbage. You know, but actually, I like my 360. It's still my favorite console of all time. But it's it's 6, right? I wasn't about that life or that free smoke or whatever they call it now. So.
Yo, hey man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It honestly just became funny to a certain degree, man, because it was like every other day these things were breaking, man. I had cousins that went through like 7 or 8 fucking Xbox 360s, and I just kept asking them, why do you keep buying them? Why do you keep buying? Because I gotta play Halo. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I mean, at that point, what can I say? What can I say, bro? What can I say? They just had to play Halo, bro.
Yeah. What's up, boys?
Yeah.
The Canadian Grizzly Bear. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Might as well shoot that intro while you're in here.
Fennel Mephisto, blah, 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 blah. My fucking stuff in my face with chips right now, man. Batman's hungry.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, speaking of that, my food is ready to come out of the oven, so I'm a jump off here.
Yo, by the way, what is this, Craig, about you giving out free smoke if we don't buy Anthem?
I find out what it is. Everybody's gonna buy Anthem because there ain't gonna be no Dragon Age
that fucking garbage.
Well, the Xbox community's got to buy Anthem I can get me a.
First of all, answer me this, Craig, before you go, real quick. What is that going to do for BioWare in order to fix the fucking issue with Mass Effect? Mass Effect is already tarnished. They had one chance.
Oh, what do you mean?
One chance. They had one chance to make a huge impact with Andromeda, and they fucked it up. Well, according to you, they fucked it up.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
I think Andromeda was the direction that they should have went, but it could have been a hell of a lot better. My point is that I'm not going to sit there and blindly put my money to it. And believe me, I know you're only kidding around there, fucking Craig. But anyways, but here's the reason why I'm not supporting fucking shitty ass Anthem. Because they've already fucked up my most beloved franchise of last generation, that being Mass Effect. I'm not going to sit there and pour out money and give them a single cent of money towards that company because EA keeps fucking over BioWare every chance they get. So they're not getting my money for Anthem.
Yeah, I agree, but that's why we gotta, that's why we gotta support Anthem so that we can get another Dragon Age.
With my wallet. I'm voting with my wallet, and they're not getting a single cent from me because I want EA to understand how badly they fucked up BioWare. BioWare is not the same BioWare that was there last generation or the generation before that. Modern BioWare fucking sucks.
I agree. Yeah. Ever since but they're supposed to come out with another IP. So yeah.
Mass Effect,
but I need everybody to buy that Anthem so we get a Dragon Age game. Or I'm going to invest in
Dragon
something
Age
called
still comes regardless. Anyways, that's the next project that EA is going to get BioWare to make after fucking shitting Anthem.
You know, hey, Craig, I'm sorry, man, but I just got this funny feeling that Anthem might flop, you know, with all the shit that's going on behind closed doors with the developers. And then EA announced that they're moving forward with microtransactions. The game just has no interest to me whatsoever.
Well, I don't disagree. That's why everybody.
Truth be told, there, Craig, man,
despite it possibly flopping, you all need to go buy it. Because like I told everybody on my podcast yesterday, if I don't get another Dragon Age game, I'm going to blame them for that. And then I'm going to have to give out free stuff. Though.
You shouldn't have to do that. You should be putting the blame on the publisher being EA because they're the ones that are actually letting BioWare fucking suck this much balls.
Well, no, that's what I said. It's not up to me. I'm not buying.
It's EA's responsibility why it's EA's fucking fault why Andromeda sucked. It's EA's fucking fault we'll probably never get another goddamn Mass Effect. Why should we be punished for that? What is us supporting Anthem going to do? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Mm-hmm. But that's not. But Dragon Age is still coming regardless of that.
Well, but it may get here faster. If we can get Anthem,
it won't be until next gen. It won't be until next gen.
Well, that's true too. That I do agree with. So, but yeah, like I said, if they don't go buy Anthem after all that talk and something called a vertical slice and the 6 T-flops, then yeah, I'm gonna have to give out free smoke to these people.
Hey, I would like to talk about another subject though, and that would be about Microsoft removing the 21 games.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
Or Game Pass. And you couple that with them raising the price of Game Pass in Europe. So what's thoughts on that?
Well, let me bounce less games.
Yeah, let Craig take this one first since he's gonna bounce shortly.
Yeah, real quick. It's not a surprise. They're doing what they have to do as a company. And you said they were raising Game Pass in Europe, the price?
By like $4.
So it's only a matter of time before they do it here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, maybe they get that new game coming out called Free Smoke. Everybody on the Xbox better get ready for it. So, Oh yeah, but it's Microsoft's doing what they need to do. It's it is what it is. People just they got to move on. I've always said sometimes you just tip your hat to the better console. And Sony this gen they won it back. They are the Alabama. They the Tom Brady. They the GOAT, whatever you want to call it. So and it's over with. So they got to raise the price on Game Pass. I mean, mine's about to expire. Here in a few more weeks, I'm gonna play a little of this State of Decay, just to see what the big deal is. But because I was watching some of that gameplay. Well, I didn't understand the gameplay. Somebody had built a wall, and the zombies kept coming over the wall. It's like, all right, what's the point of having a wall? And then I saw somebody growing weed on there. That's what I want to do. Somebody had a weed garden on there. So
I was not aware of that, but that just made me even more fucking excited.
Yeah, so yeah, I have to check that out. Yeah, but I am going to jump off here, guys. My food it's ready to burn up now. But I appreciate the invite, Lincoln and Sick. Fatal, always a pleasure. And this other young man says Art. So what's up, Art? But all right then, let me bounce, and I'll keep listening, and you all keep up the good work.
Okay, make sure you get your outro on your way out the door, and thanks for coming by, my friend.
No problem. Buy that Anthem or it's going to be free smoke.
God damn it, Greg. God damn you.
So
going back to your question about the 21 games, 2 of them being Xbox One games, which nobody fucking played regardless of buying them, which is like what Defense Grid and some other shitty one.
The 360 games look like trash anyway.
The 360 titles, man, fucking...
Except for the Bioshocks or something like that. I think they removed the
Bioshock. Yeah, Bioshock was in there, and same with Take-Two's Enemy Within or something like that. Or some bullshit.
Other than that, it was a bunch of bullshit. But it still falls into what Game Pass was supposed to be about when it first came out. When I first read the article about Game Pass, it was to my understanding that every 30 days they would rotate games in and out. They would bring in new games, and then the ones that they rotated out, you would have the opportunity, if you wanted to continue playing those games, you could buy them at a discount. And it looks like that's still the route that they're going.
That is still the route they're going. That's exactly what they're doing. Which is like I mean, like I'm not surprised by these games leaving Game Pass, and a lot of those ones have been there since the launch of Game Pass too. So they've been there for several months. I'm hearing something in the background. What is that? Or am I like tripping on acid or some shit?
You got me on that one.
You're tripping on acid, bro.
Shut up, fucking predator looking motherfucker.
or is it milk bags?
It could be milk bags, man. I don't know. Hey, careful! I have to watch my tongue. There's a lady in the chat. But no, but I mean, I've never. It makes perfect sense for Microsoft to do that, anyways, man. Now I'm curious to see what's going to be coming next month, though, and I can tell you one thing right now: I have this very, very, very suspicious feeling that fucking the Halo Master Queef collection is going to be on there fucking next month.
This is going to be one of my questions tomorrow for Game Over HD, but I'll still go ahead and ask that to you guys and see what you guys think. Do you think that Microsoft will put on the big razzle dazzle with the next Inside Xbox edition to hype up State of Decay 2 before the game launches?
No, but I'm going to try to see if I can get my fucking tweet to show up on their show again. I'm going to try to make that my goal every month to see if I can get a tweet to display on that little tweet tracker thing, what the fuck you want to call it, man. Just to keep myself entertained for fucking an hour and a half. Fatal is the most unruly person on YouTube. He even curses on the Gamer Couch podcast. Hey, I tried not to. You know what? You have any idea how difficult it is for me? Like yesterday, I was in a podcast yesterday there, Lincoln, man, when there was no swearing at all. Do you have any idea how fucking hard that is for me?
What podcast was there's no
Undead's podcast. Him and his two other buddies, they run a website, like whatever you want to call it. And one of the guys that I was talking to on the show kind of gave me a little bit of more inside information about State of Decay 2 because he's playing the review copy right now. And he was fucking praising it, dude. And he's not even an Xbox guy either. He's not even an Xbox guy because that's the first thing I asked him. I'm like, yo, are you praising this because you're an Xbox guy? He's like, nah, bro, I don't even fuck with Xbox like that. And I was like, oh, okay.
No kidding. Yeah, Danny, Titanfall Princess has been pushing me to swear more, but I think that's just I used to cuss like a sailor when I was young, but I think as I got older, I just didn't see the need to cuss as much. Don't get me wrong. It still comes out. Whenever I swear, then I'm trying to make a point.
Exactly. That's what I do. 50% of the time. Shut the fuck up, sick. See, there you go.
Oh boy. Let me see here. Anybody got anything else y'all want to talk about?
Hold on, I'm looking right now.
Milk bags.
I'm working on it, bitch. Fucking hell, I just got off Conan. Fuck you.
No. I'm talking about the topic. Let's talk about milk bags.
Milk bags? Why do you want to talk about milk bags? Why do you want to talk about female tits for, man? What are you gonna be like that?
No. I'm talking about Canadian fucking milk bags, bro.
What is your obsession with that? How come you don't understand anything about
I'm on N4G right now, and under $15 sale on PS4 games include Metal Gear Survive.
I like how Lincoln wants to
What? That game is under $15 already? Sheesh.
What was it? Metal Gear what?
Metal Gear Survive.
Online game?
Hey, I love you, Titanfall. And thank you for accepting me for not cussing as much. I'm rated PG-13. I don't swear that much. Nothing wrong with anybody, who rated R like, Fatal, but thanks for loving me for being PG-13.
You wouldn't love my channel. She'd be like, I gotta get out of here. I can't get out of this. Truth be told,
Gun Roof swears less than me, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I just said. She wouldn't like my channel. She'd be like, I can't listen to this. I gotta get out of here.
My doctor, my live. Pop.
No, but I was pretty animated last week when I did that podcast talking about that article where that guy was writing saying that Microsoft is gearing up for the future and Sony isn't, the long term and shit like that. And that article
was fucking trash, man.
That article had me livid. That I don't think I cussed that much in the podcast before.
Speaking of articles, there was one that I posted on Twitter there today where I think it was today or yesterday morning. I can't fucking remember. My days are all fucked. Where I was sitting there, I was just like, wait a minute. Why would somebody fucking type some shenanigan garbage fucking regurgitation like this, man? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm trying to see if I can.
Is that the article that you put up about backwards compatibility saying that
that's like the best exclusive?
The best exclusive.
That's the one. That was the most idiotic fucking shit I ever seen in my life, dude.
I saw the headline. I saw the headline for that article, but I didn't even waste my time reading it because I didn't know what angle the writer was going to come from. I didn't know if he was going to come from the angle like he was dick riding Microsoft, or if he was coming from the angle like, hey, they ain't got shit. This is the best they got.
Yeah, no. Listen to the title of the article, people, right? When you think about it, the Xbox One has the greatest exclusives of this generation. Okay, and then yet when you read about it, it talks about backwards fucking compatibility. Are you kidding me? Best of all, this is not from like an actual gaming source website. This is from a site that covers fucking all forms of tech. Gadget fucking, what is it there? Gadgets.ndtv.com. Really? Motherfuckers out here be fucking trifling.
Hey, listen, all I gotta say is Microsoft is either kicking out a lot of advertisement dollars or shaking a lot of hands in the background, dog.
They have to be,
the
because
bullshit that I'm seeing pop up, dog,
bro,
don't make no sense.
Like when I see a gaming article from like stock market websites and shit like that, I just flip right through it. I don't even read the shit.
But here's the thing, though, right? When maybe that could very well be a marketing plan that Microsoft has taken there. Sick, you brought up a very good point, because maybe they want people to legitimately think this way about the shitbox.
Yep.
They want, and it's fucking whatever they're doing, man. It clearly works for that fan base, dude. Because you got motherfuckers going on Twitter saying dumb shit like exclusives don't define a generation, or games don't define a generation. Exclusives don't matter. Third-party multiplats are better and superior on Xbox, dude. Microsoft's got a lot of these bitch ass motherfuckers fucking brainwashed, bro.
Yeah, they have pumped out hundreds of subliminal messages throughout this generation, and I mean, it was like. One of them, I'm not gonna lie, they actually had me thinking about it for a second when the Xbox One, when the PlayStation Pro was unveiled, and they made it clear that it was not going to have a 4K player. Well, here comes Microsoft, instantly jumped on top of them and said that theirs was going to have a 4K player, and try to make it seem like this is a reason to buy our console, and why you shouldn't buy theirs is because they're not going to give you a 4K console. And I stopped and thought about it for a minute. I was like, do I really need a 4K console? And then I stopped and thought about it for a minute, and I had to use common sense. How likely are you to go to Best Buy, Walmart, or whatever the case may be, and pay $25 for a 4K movie that you're only going to watch once and then throw it in a stack?
I've said that multiple
unless it's porn. If it's 4K porn, then that'll be watched a lot.
Speaking of that, I heard a lot of sick live stream talking about how garbage our Avengers Infinity War movie was.
Trash!
And yeah, because I'm a big fan of the Marvel movies, and I like to collect the Blu-ray movies. So I was going to invest, since I got the X, I was going to invest in the 4K Marvel movies. But like Lincoln just said, I'm only going to watch them. Like the ones I own, I only watched them one time, and they buried under my entertainment center somewhere. So, and I know this week Black Panther come out on 4K, and I've never watched a 4K movie yet. And I have a 4K TV and an Xbox One X. So I'm like, all right, this will be my first movie I watched the Black Panther, even though I thought that movie was trash too. And I think you said that too, right, Sick? You didn't really like it either?
I would like to buy a vowel.
Man, I like to buy a vowel slut.
You know what, Gunru? I think watching a 3D movie through the PlayStation VR is a better experience than seeing something in 4K.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I've watched the Black Panther in 4K, and I no longer own an Xbox. Don't ask me how. It just happened, okay? Mm-hmm. Just know that it happened, okay? And I don't see why that is even of importance at all whatsoever. I really don't. I really don't. But regardless of that, right? Let's talk about this goddamn Avengers, right? Now,
we really gotta talk about this film.
Yes. We have to talk about
I'm sorry to open up that can. I'm sorry to bring back memories for you, Sick.
Listen. Avengers was one of the. Listen, Lincoln, did you see Avengers yet?
Yeah, I took my son to see Infinity War a couple of weeks ago.
Trash. Okay, let's bring number one to the floor, right? Loki, right? Gave away a whole bunch of shit, right? 2, the guy who is in charge of the gate. I forgot what his name is, but he's in all of the Thor movies. Black dude. I think he's played by Idris Elba.
Yeah, him. Yeah, I forgot his name too.
Yeah. All right. So check this out. He was able to send the Hulk back to wherever the fuck he sent Hulk to, which is Earth, I'm assuming. How is it, or why is it that he couldn't send? Why couldn't he open up the gate to send everybody else somewhere? Did anybody think about that?
Yeah.
He was able to send Hulk big ass, which is like the equivalent of like multiple fucking people, but he couldn't even send his own people somewhere else from that goddamn gate. Also, they never explained how he was able to send Hulk somewhere without actually being near that little fucking world tree thing, you know, the little thing that opens up the gate. They never explained that shit. If he could have did that the entire time, why in the fuck did he let all those people get slaughtered in fucking Thor Ragnarok?
Facts. I don't even know what the hell he means, but whatever. Facts.
No. I'm just saying, if he could just randomly open up the gate and send fucking people away, why didn't he randomly open up the gate and send fucking Hela ass wherever the fuck, you know, he wanted to send her? He could have sent her to a whole different fucking dimension, and he didn't do it because she couldn't open the gate herself. Clearly. So a lot of this shit didn't make no sense from the beginning of Avengers Infinity War. Then you get to the part about fucking Hulk. I've seen the Hulk take a massive beating from Thor, an even worse beating than he took from Thanos. But Thanos hit this nigga with a couple of jabs and a body slam, and this nigga's gone the entire movie.
Right. And when he decided, when he was fighting Thanos, when he was going toe to toe, I'm like, oh, this is about to be a wonderful scene. They about to go at it, you know?
No, but okay. So then you move on from there. Why the fuck would Loki just give up the Tesseract when he could have indeed used the Tesseract to do harm to Thanos? Why does nobody ask this question? We saw what the Tesseract is capable of doing. So why in the fuck did Loki not use the Tesseract to actually defend his people? He died regardless.
You know,
I told you the Marvel universe is
like these movies have shown that Loki will let the whole Asgard die if it means Thor dying with him, because he'll let the whole fucking universe get fucked up if it means getting Thor killed.
Wow, that plot sounds so incredibly boring.
It is fucking retarded, dog.
But it's happened in the cartoons too, because there's a cartoon version of a movie called Hulk versus Thor, Hulk versus Wolverine, and in the Hulk versus Thor part of it, Loki used one of the goddesses to gain control of the Hulk and try to go fight Thor. Well, somehow Hulk ended up turning into Ragnarok, and he was about to fuck up all of Asgard. Loki was okay with that as long as Thor was killed in the process.
Listen, tell me, why is this a thing as well? Loki has the ability to clone himself or even mask himself or basically turn himself into someone else. Why did he not do that when Thanos was on the ship?
Well, I was about to say something, but you could have easily countered it, because from what I understand, Loki's an ice giant, and it was Odin's magic that kept him in the form that he is all these years. No. That's absolutely incorrect, because Odin died in Thor Ragnarok, which actually took place that took place before Avengers Infinity War or whatever. So Odin is already dead. Odin died, and then before Odin died, he told Thor and fucking Loki about Hela. And he told him, like, yo, this bitch is gonna fuck y'all up, but I'm out, nigga. Deuce. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how that shit went. Mm-hmm. He basically told him, hey, look, this bitch is bad. This is your sister. She's going to kill you. I'm out. Be safe, nigga. Be safe.
Yo, here's the thing. The main part about this movie that was fucking sad as hell is that they literally gave up these stones, which were so fucking important to the plot. Most of the people just handed the stones over. And I know what people are going to say, and I knew what they were setting up when they had Doctor Strange levitating in the air, fucking looking all types of ways and shit. I knew that they were going to say, oh, you know, he's looking at all the different outcomes. And sure enough, yeah, I saw 415 million outcomes, and we only win one of them. Nigga, y'all lost. Y'all lost. You lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thor's story, they spent the whole time trying to get Thor to this fucking place so that he can get another weapon. Once Thor finally gets the weapon, what does he do? Nothing. Nothing. Thanos looked right at this nigga like, yeah, you should have probably hit me in the head. This nigga snapped his fingers. Now, also, let's think about Quill, Mr. Star-Lord himself, the bitch-ass nigga that sacrificed the Earth. Matter of fact, this nigga sacrificed the universe over some green pussy, bruh. Let's be honest. That's exactly what the fuck happened. Like, come on, bruh. Ain't no love in the world gonna make me be like, you know what? I mean, I love this bitch, but you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna fuck up everything right now. They literally had the glove off of Thanos' hand, bruh. They had the shit off. They kept telling this nigga, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And boy, did he have to do it. Boy, did he fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't wait until he died. I'm like, you fuck nigga, you deserve to die. You deserve to die, bruh. I mean, god damn. And then, not only that, you couldn't save your bitch anyway. So you knew she was dead. You knew she was dead. You knew there was nothing you could do about it. Yet you sacrificed the universe anyway. Dumbass plot twist. And then Doctor Strange, this old fuck nigga here. I thought Doctor Strange was smarter than that, right? We saw in Doctor Strange's own movie that he could have created a time loop. He could have created a time loop and just fuck with Thanos over and over and over again. But he did not do that. He didn't do that. It's almost like he forgot what the time stone could actually do. He forgot what the fuck the time stone could actually do. And he handed it over to save Iron Man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It all makes sense with the way you.
Here, I thought fucking DC fucking was bad. Holy fuck.
No, Titanfall. I know Thanos has a lot of power, but Thanos only has a lot of power because they gave up the stones to this idiot. That's the reason why he had a lot of power. They did not have to give up the stones. First and foremost, what's her name? Gamora? Gamora should have just let her sister got tortured, bro. This bitch is half cyborg. Like, the fuck? She'll be all right, nigga. She'll be all right. Like, yep. I'd have just let her get tortured. She didn't even have to tell this nigga what a soul stone was. She took him to the soul stone and got her ass sacrificed. Like, fuck, what a turn of events. But the only reason why he was as powerful as he was is simply because they gave up the stones. They literally handed him the stones. They handed them to him. Loki handed him the stone. Gamora handed him the stone. Fucking Doctor Strange handed him the stone. All of these stones were pretty much just given to this dude. The only one he actually had to fight for was the one that was in Vision's head. That's the only fucking one.
True that.
Why people thought this movie was so good, I have no idea. The story was terrible. The plot fucking was terrible. Everything about this goddamn movie was terrible. Even people who read the comic books was like, yeah, this shit don't even make sense. It don't make sense how they killed everybody so goddamn fast. Come on, fam. I'm gonna snap my fingers and then I'm gonna go sit on my planet. Like, why the fuck did I do all this?
Do you think Black Panther was trash too?
I thought Black Panther was trash. So I actually sat down and gave it a true look, man, and I loved it after that, man. I ain't in front with you. I was dragging that movie, bro. Then I really, because what would happen is I would start watching Black Panther and I'd just fall asleep. I just fall asleep. And then one day I said, you know what? I was talking to my wife. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to watch this movie. I'm going to watch it all the way through. I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to look at it from beginning to end. And then when I saw the plot and everything, when I saw the reason why everything was going down, like Killmonger, I don't see Killmonger as being a villain as much as I see him just being just an antagonist. You know what I'm saying? He's an antagonist, yes, but a villain, I wouldn't really consider him a villain because I know what he wanted. He was just way too emotional, man. He was way too emotional, man. He's one of these niggas that could never have power because he works off of emotion instead of off of using his fucking mind. So Killmonger deserved to die. He went out like a G. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way they let him come in as if he was just like this fucking super guy. You know what I'm saying? But they had to build up the story that way because they had to kill off T'Challa or try to kill off T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? To progress the story forward. But it did show, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Me being a part of the black community, man, I do see a lot of fuck niggas like that. The ones that'll turn on you quicker than chicks. That's why niggas fuck with chicks over goddamn niggas, because niggas will throw your ass under the bus in a heartbeat. Man, them niggas turned on T'Challa so goddamn fast. The only people who actually stood strong were the women.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy, but that shit is actually real. That shit actually does fucking happen. Like these weak ass niggas out here, these fucking beta male ass niggas, bro. Instead of being an alpha male, bro, they'll rather be the beta male.
Mm-hmm.
And they some fuck niggas. They didn't like your ass anyway, so they jump on the chance to stab you in the back. I mean, just take a look at YouTube, man, and just see a lot of the shit that's happening, bro.
Yeah.
When you take a look at really what's happening on YouTube, man, you can apply that shit to real life. You got niggas that hate to see you doing good, man. I hate to see what happened to Jack Mood Johnny, man, because I feel like, man, you know, he worked hard at what he do, man. He streamed more than a lot of these motherfuckers, and he actually play games.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for people to get his fucking Twitch suspended or taken down or whatever, and then motherfuckers to get his YouTube and shit taken down, I think that's fucked up, dog. I think that's fucked up. And it just goes to show that people don't really want to see you doing good on this shit, man. Like they'll be with you and they'll be talking good with you. But then when they see you progressing and they see you getting this money, they hate that shit. They hate it because it's not them. And I don't know why people like that, bro.
Right.
I'm not. I don't know. Like this, like that. Jack Move Johnny part of the weapon wheel, ain't he?
Yeah, he is part of the weapon wheel, but that's not even the point, dog. Like all of this shit that's happening to him right now is niggas that's doing personal attacks on his channel and shit like that. Oh. And that's fucked up, bro. I don't care who you're associated with. I don't care how I feel about who you're associated with. Like all of this, like when you know that this is this man's income, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why people play with shit like that.
Yeah, that's wrong, man.
And you're doing it out of spite. You're not doing it for an actual reason. You're doing it out of spite. And I don't like shit like that.
I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy, though, man. Even if I had a legitimate reason. I don't mess with nobody's livelihood. You just don't do that, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because now what you want to do is what you want to really do is you want to sit around and say, you ain't getting no money. You broke, nigga. That's what you want to do. But you're the reason why this man is broke. You know what I'm saying? If that does turn out to be the case. You know what I'm saying? So you created this situation so that you can fucking antagonize him about this situation. I hate these fuck niggas on YouTube, bruh. Like I do. I hate it with a passion. Why do y'all only see me with a few people, bruh? And y'all only see me with a few people because I can't stand most of the fake ass niggas that be on YouTube, dog. Yeah. I can't stand these niggas, bro. And I'm being honest with you guys. And that's why like Titanfall Princess, like I fuck with her. I'm gonna try to make it to the goddamn, if she do it tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I think it's Tuesday. Here we go with that shit again. I'm gonna try to make that. Here we go with that shit again.
Yeah, but I plan to be in there Tuesday as well.
Yeah, I make it to Foxy UK stuff when he send me invites and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I make it to Thrash's stuff, Ryan stuff. But outside of that, bro, all the rest of these niggas out here that be on that old crazy shit, bro, like I try to stay as far away as I possibly can from that. because that shit breeds ignorance, man. And you see a lot of it when you look at your chat and you see some of the people who show up to your chat. They hate to see that you not on that bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Now you understand why I left YouTube in the fucking first place, dude. I had to deal with all that shit.
You know what made me
fun, man.
You know what made me become on YouTube in terms of being a content creator is because I'm passionate about gaming, but I'm also I don't have a problem on calling a company out on a bullshit, and I think some people was getting sick of hearing that shit. They was getting sick of hearing me every day say this about Microsoft or whatever the case may be. I think it was starting to get on some people's nerves, but I was like, I know it's people out here who think the way I do. So in terms of seeing through the bullshit, and that's one of the things that prompted me to start a channel, because I'm passionate about gaming, and I'll praise good shit and I'll call bullshit on other stuff.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you, you just don't really want to get caught up in the fuckery, bro. And like some of the stuff that I've seen over the past like weeks and stuff like that, and it's weird, man, because I keep note of all the people that I see doing some flaw shit. Like I see people going back and forth between like Weapon Wheel and Hard 8, and you'll have one person go on the Hard 8 channel saying this, and then they'll go back to Weapon Wheel channel and they'll be saying this about Hard 8. I duly note these people, because when I see them come into my chat, it's an automatic block.
Yeah,
because you're the guy that's keeping, or you're one of the guys that's keeping this bullshit going. You know what I'm saying? And then you're jumping from chat to chat to chat and shit like that. Like I just don't understand that. And if I'm seeing it, I know other people seeing it. So it's like, dog, what is it even for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that's why I like doing your show there, fucking sick, and yours, Lincoln, and also with the Roundtable podcast and Titanfalls podcast, because everybody that's in the chat right now is always in those chats as well.
Yeah,
people that we enjoy, people that we like, and whatever the case may be.
And I always tell people, it's not about subscribers, man. It's not about it. It's not about that at all, man. It's about having an environment that is just not hostile or volatile all the goddamn time, bro. Like, and people don't realize. Like, I even tell people, right? Because some people be like, "Man, you're just being so unfair to Xbox." I'm like, first of all, Xbox is a box, so there is no being unfair to it. But in regards to everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can sit back and have a conversation with you about Xbox. If you want to speak your piece on it, I could definitely have a conversation about it. But I've seen people who will just troll you to try to get some type of response. Like, I swear to God, Lincoln, bro, I have this one person, this weird ass nigga, bro. Every time he comes to my chat, he talks about a specific YouTuber, and I just don't understand the logic behind it, bro. I'm like, what do you expect me to say? I'm not going to defend this person, but I'm not going to badmouth this person either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't understand
what you're talking about, because I was listening to that conversation, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't understand what you're trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, you can kick rocks with that. And I guess some people feel like I bow down to like bigger YouTubers or something. Like, bro, you think I give a fuck? No. You don't know me very well, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just gonna have beef with somebody for absolutely no fucking reason either, though. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't come to me thinking I'm finna defend somebody for the sake of defending them. I don't defend anybody. If somebody needs to defend themselves, I'll let them defend themselves. And I don't expect anybody, not you, Lincoln, not anybody in this chat, not anybody on YouTube. I don't expect nobody to defend me. You know what I'm saying? I don't. So if somebody want to say something about me, let them say whatever the fuck they want to say. Don't even give them a response, if anything. You know what I'm saying? But don't jump out the window and defend me either, because for what? I don't need to be defended. And I even said, I'm like, bro, if you expecting me to just defend somebody, bro, you crazy as hell. The only female that I'm defending on the internet is my wife, bro, and that's facts. That's it.
Yeah,
everybody else, you can fucking kick. I'm not gonna do that. Like, what the fuck do I look like, bro? Do I look like Captain Saver or something? Like, come on, dog.
Yeah, the only person that I defend fucking on my side is my right hand.
This guy.
Hey. Gotta show my right hand some love, bro.
Nah, but for the most part, man, people is like really, really cool on fucking YouTube, man. Like I've had freaking podcasts where I've had 80, close to 90 people in the fucking live stream and shit, and we've had no bullshit. I've had the Infurious one come to my chat. I've had Liberal Gamer come to my chat. I've had all types of weird ass niggas come to my chat, bro. Huh?
That Infurious one, that motherfucker hates you for some reason, dude.
Probably.
I had somebody a couple of days ago when I think it was Thursday or something, whatever day I did my last podcast. Somebody came in there, basically threatened me in my podcast, and then after the podcast was over, I did a live stream playing MLB The Show with Gunru, and the dude followed me in there, was like, you know, have me on the show, and I'll debate you about the Xbox. I'll put you in the ground, blah blah blah. But
he wants to be your friend.
Lincoln, I think it was somebody I know trying to trigger me, and it didn't really work. You know, because I told him, hey, if you feel that strongly about it, I said, we're on the stream right now. You got the mic. Go ahead and take it and say what you're gonna say. What can you say about the Xbox that's gonna make me change my mind the way I think about it? So feel free to take the stage and tell me right now while I'm playing this game. We don't need to set up a show for it.
Exact same thing that every other Xbox fucking fanatic douche nugget out there fucking says. The ecosystem.
And then he was like, you know, he was like, I'll bury you, blah blah blah. And he was like, you know, just have me on the show, let's debate, and I promise I'll leave you alone, blah blah blah. And I went back and checked the dude's page. You know, he doesn't have any subscribers, doesn't have any videos, but I'm convinced it was somebody that I know, just trying to test me to see if you know, to see if I would, you know, come unglued, you know. And I've said that before. I'm pretty thick-skinned because of the people I had to grow with growing up. I had to have thick skin because I had two ways that I could handle these people growing up. I could fight fire with fire and get just as followed as them, or I could walk away. And in most cases, I had found that not responding makes them even more mad.
It does. Let me tell you about this one dude. I'll never forget him. His name was Brian B. He came in, right? He came into, I already knew who he was. I knew that he was the Duncan. Goddamn, what was his other names? He had one that was Duncan, one called Gay Bari or something like that. And some other shit, right? And he said something. He was like, oh, you look like Whoopi Goldberg, ha 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 ha. And I was like, yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, that's my dog. And then he said something to the extent of, no, I'm talking about the ugly lesbian Whoopi Goldberg. And I guess it pissed him off to the fact that it didn't piss me off. And I was like, what the fuck? Yo, but it's crazy, man. And you know what? It's weird because I never get PlayStation guys that hop in my, and I talk about PlayStation. When I say shit about PlayStation, I never get PlayStation dudes that hop in my chat and try to defend the PlayStation, bro. I never get Nintendo dudes to hop in my fucking chat to defend Nintendo. And I've been talking hella shit about the Nintendo and the Labo. But yeah, I was just gonna say that. I'm like, damn, this shit is indicative of the times, bro.
I think
you really don't have anything to play, so you spend all your time on the internet defending that.
That's what I was gonna say. That these Xbots spend more time on YouTube finding somebody to fight with instead of instead of enjoying this so-called console that they think is the best.
Yo, Ryan, OBJ ain't a fucking troll, dude. I love fucking having that guy around, dude. He cracks me out. He cracks me the fuck up, dude.
Yo, I don't know who said this. I think Draco Rex said this. Draco Rex was like, yo, this nigga's gonna be on his deathbed. And before he dies, he's gonna pull his son closer and he's gonna say, hey, Sea of Thieves is trash. I almost died when he said it.
That's his fucking quote, dude, man. Like every single time when that mofo comes in the chat, that's the first thing he says. The first thing he says when he enters the room, that's like he's got like one of those macros, like fucking like, you know, keybind to his keyboard and shit. As soon as he comes in the room, he just presses that macro, man. Boom, Sea of Thieves is trash. That's how you know he's in the fucking room. It's hilarious, dude. It's fucking funny as shit. Even when I saw him come a few times on my, like in my chat when I was doing my shows on my channel, like he would just come in like, Sea of Thieves is trash, and I'm just like, oh, Jay's in the house.
Yeah, Skip Bayless used to come into my chats. The first thing come out of his mouth was "crap gamer's an idiot" or something.
Yep. I had my ups and downs with him in the past, but it was over It was over some fucking retardation.
Here's a question that I have for y'all, right? And I don't know if it's just me, right? But first and foremost, I need to tell you, Titanfall, bruh. Titanfall, we got to get that Tekken match, and we got to do that shit sometime before I go back to work on Wednesday. So definitely be prepared for that. Lincoln, you definitely got to join this ass whooping too. King Thrash, if you out there. King Thrash, if you out there, bruh, he's heavily invited because I got to get some get back on King Thrash. But damn, what was I gonna say? I was actually gonna say something of more importance before I said that bullshit.
Read Twisted post.
See if they straight out of content. Facts.
That is fucking genius.
Facts. Straight out of content.
Genius.
God damn it, I was gonna say something. Damn, what was it about?
My bad, I apologize. It's my fault. But
no, it wasn't your fault. It was my fault for even jumping on that topic.
Go ahead, Titanfall Princess. Say it the way T'Challa was. I accept your challenge.
Yeah, and that's when he died, or not died, but got put into this coma and all this crazy shit.
You fought with honor. Now yield. Your people need you.
You know what though? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think T'Chaka, which was T'Challa's father, I think he really made the right decision.
Back on Black Panther, again, are we? Fucking A.
Yeah, I think he made the right decision to kill his brother. The reason why? Because his brother went to the US and he basically got filled with that toxic energy that comes off in the US. You know what I'm saying? He saw all the crime against black people and stuff like that, and he had the same mission. If you think about it, Killmonger had the same mission as T'Chaka's brother. I forgot what his name was, but they had the same mission. And they wanted to arm everybody. They wanted to arm everybody so that they can fucking defend themselves. But the thing is, when you arm everybody, you don't know who's doing what, when, where, and how. So that would have been a dumbass move and would have caused more problems than it would have done good. You know what I'm saying? So I get why they didn't want to do that. They just want to be left the fuck alone. They don't want no outside help. They don't want no welfare from all of these governments. They just want to be left the hell alone. That's it.
I think I'm gonna buy that 4K Blu-ray, man.
I ain't gonna even lie to you, bro. The movie is fucking lit, dog.
It is. I mean, like, I just got a hold of the movie at 1080p, and me and my son, watched it last night, and then I fell asleep, and then like when I burned the movie, I set it to play in a loop. So when I woke up this morning, it probably played for like the 10th time or something.
I mean, it might be the only 4K movie I buy, but I think I'm gonna buy that one.
I ain't watching that movie because I don't care for Black Panther.
I love that movie. And my son loved that movie.
Oh, by the way, go ahead, Lincoln. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I bought him a couple of Black Panther T-shirts because he absolutely, I mean, he loved Black Panther the way the general audience loves Spider-Man or something like that.
Wakanda forever.
Fuck.
So.
The fuck was that? Kong over here, motherfucker. Shit.
And we discuss that our technological advancements are overseen by a child.
Hey, by the way,
you cannot talk.
Speaking of movies, by the way, did y'all see that Monster Hunter live action film goes in post-production there?
No. Okay. Not everything that's successful as a video game needs to be turned into a goddamn movie, man, or even a live action film.
I agree with that.
Guess who's making the movie though?
I don't give a damn who's making it. How do you turn Monster Hunter into a movie is the question.
All right, well, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. But guess who's
Have you ever played the game?
Of course I played the game.
So how the fuck do you turn that into a movie?
I don't fucking know. Okay, here's the thing, right? The dude that's making the film, right? And I said this before on my own show, and I talked about it when I was like, a Monster Hunter fucking live action film. Oh, joy. And then I read who's directing it and who's starring in it. And I was just like, oh, that's going to piss off a lot of fucking motherfuckers, right? So the dude that's making it is the same guy that made the Resident Evil films, Paul Anderson. And his wife, Milla Jovovich, is going to be the main star in the fucking movie as well. So I will be watching that day one because I'm a huge fan of her. I don't give a fuck about the goddamn movie plot. I just want to see it for her. Because I would fuck her sideways, man, in her ear hole. I'm sorry, my bad. I said that out loud. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. Titan, I'm sorry.
Oh
My
man,
bad.
dude,
You didn't mean
man,
to hear that. I'm sorry about that.
He got no filter.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck filter.
He said in her ear hole though. God damn, what the
I don't give a fuck, dude. He's fucking hot as fuck. Makeup, no makeup, man. I'll grind that bitch in a fucking blender. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, so we already know the movie's gonna suck. That's already a guarantee.
God damn.
Man, I'm just saying. I mean, that's how much I love that chick. I've seen every single one of her fucking movies, man. Every single one of her movies I've seen.
Rage 2 reveal trailer dropping Monday.
That game is going to
suck.
Robert McCloud said motorboat those titties.
Yo, thank you, Bethesda. You fucking fuck you, thank you, fuck you, but thank you.
What gave them the motivation to make a fucking sequel to a shitty ass fucking first game? It's like making Brink 2.
Rage was awesome. I don't care what you talking about.
Rage fucking sucked my chode.
Rage was fucking awesome, bro. Fucking awesome, man. Oh my god, I'm so glad.
Fun putting a bag of fucking milk in my container and snipping the end off of it and drinking out of it and fucking playing that pile of shit.
You tripping, Fatal. This game was fucking phenomenal, bro. I remember this was one of the first games that I had played this on 360, bro. I think it was 2 discs on the 360, bro. This game was phenomenal.
Hey, thank you, Robert McCloud, for the sub. I just got the alert on it. I appreciate it, fam.
Oh my god.
No, but I mean, hey, to those people, like the 4 people out there that actually give a fuck about Rage, by all means, go nuts, have fun buying that. But I ain't buying that trash.
I don't know nothing about the first one, so I'm just sitting here on the sidelines.
I rest my fucking case because the first one sucked. Be thankful you didn't play the first one.
I mean, there are a couple of I hope there's a sequel to the Order 1886. I haven't finished the game, but
who the fuck is that? Google this bitch up and see who the fuck she is.
I would like to see them, do a sequel to that game.
Yo, can you put Rage on the screen, Lincoln? I want people
to
see this goddamn game, dog. I don't care what y'all talking about.
What do you want me to find it on YouTube or something? Or
find it on YouTube and play the video. Like, this game was lit. I don't know why y'all didn't like this game, dog. This shit bring back so much memories when I'm looking at just the gameplay.
1080p. Let's see.
Fatal, you're gonna buy Rage 2 and you're gonna love it.
Yeah, the sad thing is I probably will too.
You're gonna fucking love it.
Especially if it's got online co-op, be like, fuck, man, God, fuck you, sick.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to share my screen.
This game is fucking amazing.
Hold on.
I'd rather go back and play.
Share.
I think I got the platinum in this on the PlayStation too, if I'm not mistaken. I really believe I did.
Okay, do y'all see this in full screen now?
Did I play it?
Oh my gosh. This looks so
that
fucking
motherfucker to be the person being like, yeah, I fucking played it.
Is this the game you're talking about, Sick?
Yes, that is Rage.
Look at that game, dude. Like,
man, you tripping, bro. This game was excellent. Dude, I hate the share. I hate the share on Google Hangouts, man. That's why I started using OBS, man, because this share shit is just like 12 frames per second. This shit almost look like PUBG and shit.
Yeah, like a slideshow. Was it looking pretty choppy?
It's looking PUBG.
Look at this. I only got 1 trophy in fucking Raid. That's how shitty this game was.
While we're on the subject of the OBS, not only do I need you to show me how to use music, also I want to use a clip from Mafia 3, from Lincoln Clay as my introduction.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
That's easy. I'm not gonna disrespect your name, dude. So I was about to say another shitty game, but never mind. I
love Lincoln Clay.
Hey, fuck y'all, because all you motherfuckers get on me for the shit that I fucking play. Fuck y'all.
Short was repetitive.
Fair enough.
Hey man, I enjoyed Mafia 3 thoroughly. Me, Resurrection, and Jack Move, we were actually having like a race like an unspoken race to get to the platinum in that game.
Fucking Christ.
And you know your boy came out on top. Facts.
I think Mafia 3, I think, is only like one of 3 or 4 games that I played the entire game twice.
Oh no, Mafia 2 was lit.
Oh yeah, I love that one too.
Hey,
No,
I just downloaded that recently. Mafia.
That game is prime time, bro. Not that fucking shit that they came out with the fucking couple
That
years.
game
Fuck
right
that
there,
game.
I thought was one of 2K's games where I thought they like put some details into the characters' faces and stuff, like Leo Galante, the wrinkles on his face. I thought they put some real detail into that.
Mm-hmm.
They literally in that game, everything was almost, you could interact with almost everything in that game. The light switches, with the closets, with damn near everything in the game, dude. I don't know what happened in part 3, but they made the world okay. I feel like they made the world bigger, but they made it more empty and less interactive.
That's the biggest problem with modern generation gaming when it comes to open world.
But like, I like the story because I like how the game was set in the 60s in the South, and they didn't hold back with the racism.
Oh, facts.
Because everybody got called some names, and and they said, they would be doing the game a disservice if they didn't put that stuff in there, because that's the way it was in the South in the 60s. And and I hate to put it out there like that, but you will never, ever see a game like that again, where a black man will go blow up the fucking Klan, with a Molotov cocktail or something like that, and 30 bodies go flying everywhere. You'll never see a game like that. You'll never see a game where somebody like Lincoln Clay is taking on, dirty politicians, dirty cops, other mafias. You'll never see a game like that again, even if the shit was repetitive. And I love that game. I love the story, and you cannot deny that the cutscenes in that game had some of the best graphics that I had seen at the time. When they was talking to what's the father's name? I forgot his name. When he was telling how he came across Lincoln and giving Lincoln's story, the cutscenes are some of the cleanest graphics I had ever seen at that time.
That is true.
What? So I love that game, man. And then even though it was repetitive, some of the combat in there, like in particular, does anybody remember like one of the combats where Lincoln like stabbed the dude in the eye like 3 times? He stabbed him like 3 times in the eye with the right hand, and then gave him a left hook to finish him off. There was another one where he pushed the dude up against the wall and then shot him through the eye. And that's so I love some of the combat in that game.
Yeah, if the world was a little more lively, man, it would be a way better game. It's a good game though.
See, that's why I have so much fucking respect for GTA 4.
Yeah,
because I never forget the day when I was sitting there, I was eating lunch and I left my game. I was just coming. I think it was out of the police station or whatever you want to call it. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the game, and I wanted to see like how well the AI was in this game, because that's one thing that like Rockstar does. Yeah. So this time around, they finally got their shit together. I remember seeing a taxi driver, just barely fucking hit a car that was in front of him. The guy gets out of the car that he hit, that the taxi cab fucking hit, drags the fucking goddamn cab driver out and pops a cap in his fucking dome, dude. And just gets back in the car and just drives away. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, no, that's next gen. That shit made me fucking piss myself, dude. I was like, God damn, what the fuck did that guy do?
Yo, I swear Kratos need to fight the Hulk. They need to put Kratos in the Marvel universe.
Oh, would you fucking stop with that horse shit?
They need to do that, man. Kratos need to go to the Marvel universe and fuck Thanos up. He's the only guy that can do it, man. He's the only guy that's up for the job. That's it. Because Hulk big ass, oh my God, that shit was so disappointing, y'all. That was so disappointing. I'm like, dude, y'all made David Banner or the Hulk into a fucking coward. A fucking coward. This big green beast
trash again.
He's a goddamn coward, man.
That game's got you super fucking salty, man.
Nah, not the game. That fucking movie, dog. I hated that movie. That movie was the epitome of trash, and people was praising that trash, dog. I'm like, what the fuck type of why? Why are people praising this?
You need to watch. Maybe you should watch it again, man, and get a second opinion.
Fuck no, I watched that movie like 6 times, bro.
Oh,
like
did you?
6 times, yes. And I was honestly, I was really like, you know what? I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna chill. I ain't gonna say much. And then like a week or 2 later, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Now I can speak how I truly feel. That shit was trash.
Trash.
That shit was trash. Yo, and it's like this, all right? If I say it's trash, right? Tell me why it's not trash. And maybe you can open my eyes to something that I didn't think about.
Okay.
But
I gotta watch
I'm
it
gonna tell
again.
you one thing about me, dog. I overthink shit to the max. I overthink a lot of shit. And I think that's probably one of my biggest downfalls is the fact that I think. If I would have just went in with just like a, you know what, let's just see what happens. If I'd have went in with that mind state, I'd have probably accepted what I saw. But I can't accept what I saw because it didn't make any sense. First of all, Loki would have never just handed over the Tesseract like that. He would have never handed it over just to die like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Second of all, they could have done something, you know, while they were on that ship to, you know, prevent them from even getting that fucking stone in the first place. Third of all, those motherfuckers that came, like, come on, dog. We saw the way this nigga was slicing over in cars and shit like that. One of Thanos' kids, I forgot what his name was. The guy was like basically damn near invisible, but then all of a sudden, Iron Man shoots through the fucking ship. He gets sucked out into space and he's dead. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. There's no way you're gonna convince me of that, dog. All of this mayhem this nigga was causing, but he gets sucked into outer space and that's the end of him. This nigga could teleport into ships and shit like that, but he couldn't teleport back to his own ship.
Good
Really?
point.
Really? Really? This is why I say all the motherfuckers who wanted, nobody would debate me on this, bro. Nobody would. They'll be like, well, you know, like Craig, he was like, well, I get what you're saying, but you know, this and that, you know, I'm like, bro, but you're still not telling me why this happened. Well, it's just part of the movie. Well, this movie is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, this movie was fucking stupid, dog. And I'm like, what is it that people saw in this shit? All of your favorite heroes got treated like little bitches the entire fucking movie. They all look like has-been heroes. All of them. Captain America did not look like Captain America, first and foremost.
No, he didn't.
Fucking Tony Stark had this goddamn symbiote suit, is what I'm gonna call it. Of course, it was probably some other shit, but he don't even got to put on the goddamn Iron Man suit no more. The shit just kind of conforms to his body. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, that must be a wild ass ride to try and take a bath, nigga. Because once you take the suit off, you got your clothes on. Like, what the fuck is this? what is this? Like, and then you got Spider-Man, who was absolutely useless this entire fucking movie. Let's just be honest. Ever since they turned this Spider-Man into this nigga, this weird ass guy,
he should have just stayed on that bus and went to school.
He should have minded his fucking business. That's what he should have did.
Went to school.
Man, I'm like, and they picked the corniest nigga to be Spider-Man, bro. I got gripes with this movie, dog. I got pressure for the directors of this movie, dog. For real. Because half of this shit don't make no sense.
They made a ton of money, though.
And then what happened to all of the rest of the goddamn Marvel characters that could have came and fucking did some work? Where were they? Where the fuck were they? Where in the hell was the X-Men, bro? Where were they? You put these fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, the weakest niggas in the Marvel universe. All these niggas should have died from the beginning. Every last one of them, bruh. Because let's be honest, outside of their own little movie world, They are useless.
I don't know. Groot was kind of putting in work a little bit, man. He was trying to do some stuff.
Listen, Groot, with a snap of a finger, that nigga was out of there.
Yeah.
Out of there. Black Panther, out of there. Oh, they killed so many characters, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Now, here's what's gonna happen, right? Here's what's gonna happen in a magic turn of events, because something happened at the end of the movie. I don't want to tell y'all because y'all gotta wait until the credits start rolling and shit like that. But something happened at the end of that movie that's gonna make you say, "Oh, so this is how they're gonna bring everybody back." So yeah, I know how they're gonna bring everybody back, but still, it was stupid to kill everybody off in the fucking first place. I mean, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna even make a second movie to combat this movie? Because now Thanos got the glove, bruh. Who are you gonna get to actually do something to Thanos? Yeah, who are you gonna get?
He was OP without the glove, so I know he's gonna be man.
Come on, this nigga turned into a professional boxer on Hulk ass, bruh. This man was bobbing and weaving, jabbing, and then he turned into goddamn Stone Cold. Like what? This movie was absolute trash, dog. And nobody's gonna tell me any different, man. But I'm gonna let y'all move on to the next fucking subject, because god damn it, that shit was trash, bro. Trash. That shit was trash.
I can't really think of any other subjects offhand. You know, I'll be ready to wrap it up here pretty soon. But anybody else got anything? Shoot.
Oh man, let me scour the trash can of the internet to find some news. Sony won't be holding a traditional press conference. Sure they won't. E3 2018 ruining leak blamed on glitch. No, somebody fucking ruined it. They ruined it. How can it be a glitch when y'all spelled shit wrong? How is that a glitch? That ain't no fucking glitch. Cut it the fuck out. Cut it the fuck out, Walmart. Just be honest and say you wanted to put that shit out there in the air. You wanted Walmart to be the first people to throw that shit out there. Come on. Forza Horizon 5, anybody?
Nope.
That bitch is gonna be in Mars. It's gonna be in space. Yo, Forza gonna fuck y'all up, right? After they done did all of these countries, they gonna go into outer space on y'all ass, dog. They're gonna have you going from Mars to the moon, to different planets and shit, dog. I'm telling you, Forza is gonna be lit. Sony's E3 28 showed okay, whatever. Days Gone won't have an easy mode. Yes, Days Gone will not have an easy mode. It doesn't need an easy mode. What needs to happen is gamers need to get better. All these fuck ass reviewers that like to put games on easy beat the game in like 2 hours and be like, oh, this shit was trash. It was too easy. The AI was stupid. Yeah, nigga, because you had it on the easiest difficulty. What else do you expect to happen? You expect it to be hard on easy? Come on, fam. Cut it the fuck out.
Like me, since I'm looking to get the cinematic experience out of a game and see it from a movie standpoint, see the movie game play out like a movie. To me, what level I play the game on does not really affect, my cinematic experience.
I like the cinematic experience too, but I don't like to play a game where I know it's too easy.
I get that part. Like right now, I'm playing God of War on normal. I want it to be a little bit of a challenge, but I still want to see the cinematics too. I still want to see the story play out. I don't want to fuck around and get stuck, on one area, trying to get through it 98 times.
That goes back to 16. You got to get your gaming. Got to get that gaming. You
got to get them skills up, man. Got to get them skills up, bruh.
I gotta get that, but I also want to see a movie. I also want to see the movie play out.
You want to see a movie? Go buy a 4K Blu-ray player for the Xbox. Go buy a Blu-ray for your Xbox if you want to see a cinematic experience.
I'm gonna tell you, Neo wore my ass out. When I said
I go buy a Blu-ray for the Xbox and set it on hard and watch all the frame rate drops and shit.
No, I'm just messing with you.
I know. No. I get what you're saying. I should play shit on, but this is the one movie that I want to see the story play out.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's gonna be super difficult anyway, because they know that casual gamers aren't really into all of this difficulty shit. So they probably have something where it gets progressively harder as you go along. So
You
it's
talking about
probably going to
Days
be
Gone?
something like that. Yeah, it's probably going to be something like that. Neo, I'm gonna tell you like this. Neo kicked my motherfucking ass, bro. Oh my god. I went in that bitch like guns blazing, like, oh man, this is gonna be Bloodborne all over again. Yep, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Nigga, I gotta switch stances. I gotta fight enemies that's heavily armored, and I ain't got no fucking power at all. Like, I had to do a hell of a lot of shit, man. A hell of a lot of shit. And then I leveled up thinking I was gonna be slick. I leveled up to like level 151. And the harder or the more difficult or the better I got, the harder they got. I'm like, God damn. Can a nigga get a break, bruh? Can I get a break, dog? Can I get a break? They won't give me a break, bruh. What new PSL? Nope, don't want to see that. Sony accused of taking cut from charity Overwatch skin. Okay, I want to talk about this. God damn it. Y'all finna stand and listen to me talk about this.
Now repeat that though.
Sony accused of taking cut from charity Overwatch skin. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you guys are miserable or pissed off about this, the one thing that y'all got to realize about all of this is the fact that if y'all think that Overwatch is giving the full amount of the charity to the charity, then you're absolutely fucking out of your mind. The charity will get a percentage of the proceeds, but they're not going to get the full proceeds. Sony is just like, look, if you taking off the top, bro, I'm taking off the top too. You know what I'm saying? Now, this ain't no damage control. Second of all, I don't believe in charities. I'm gonna tell y'all that shit right now. I don't believe in the Goodwill. I don't believe in none of these fucking Salvation Armies or none of that shit because all of their CEOs make massive amounts of money. And how the fuck is that possible when people donating shit to y'all?
Yeah.
Does it sound like they taking a percentage, guys? Are they taking a percent? Yes, they are taking a percentage. Also, Overwatch is hosting on their platform, so Overwatch doesn't have to offer that charity to PlayStation fans. If PlayStation was threatening to take a percentage, Overwatch could be like, you know what? Nah, we're just gonna go with PC and Xbox, which is who are, you know, they're gonna let us do this shit for free on their platform.
Yeah.
I mean, so the question that I ask you guys is, are you fake mad about this?
Nope.
Not at all.
Here's another thing. There was a particular person in this community. I'm not going to name any names because that's not important. But this individual, when Naughty Dog was under scrutiny about sexual harassment and shit, he was like, oh, you know what? Well, I need to know this because if they are doing this, then I don't want to purchase their game. Right? That's all cool and well. You know what I'm saying? It's his money. It's his choice. Let him do what he wants. Right? This same person turned around, and keep in mind, Microsoft has been sued multiple times for sexual harassment and shit like that, specifically in the Xbox division, and he's still buying Xboxes and still buying Xbox games. Is that not hypocrisy?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So that's hypocrisy number one. Number two, remember all of that shit when people was talking about, oh, look at what, this is why I don't like David Cage, and you see these allegations, but then again, when those allegations go away and he proves his innocence, where's those same people keeping that same energy?
Where's the apology?
Where is the apology? Fucking hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
But niggas want to talk about charity now like they was going to donate to the charity anyway. Same niggas crying about loot boxes talking about some, yeah, we finna donate to a charity. No, you're not. You broke ass nigga. You ain't donating the shit.
Yeah.
Cut it the fuck out. God of War patch 1.20 adds photo mode. Have any of you guys used it, and do you like it?
No, I don't.
Oh, you did say you didn't care about photo mode. Yeah, you did.
I'll say this, and I don't know what the hell it's about, but the latest update made God of War. It put it in a black frame.
It did what?
The game is in a black frame. You know how you would have the cinematic bars on the top and the bottom, the black cinematic bars. The entire game is in a black frame.
No, there's a fix for that.
Please tell me, because I would really like to get rid of that.
Yeah, because it didn't happen to me, but I know what you're talking about because I saw people complaining about that issue, and there was a black bar fix. I'm hoping they're not saying that you need to zoom in on your TV or something like that. I don't know. That would be really fucking stupid. God of War How to fix the black borders around the screen in God of War. Polygon. I'm going to send this link to you, and hopefully this works for you.
Okay.
That's
where you gonna send a link to? You gonna send it to Twitter or directly?
No, I'm gonna put it in the Google Hangout.
Okay. All right.
Oh, man, that's crazy. You're the first person that I actually seen that was affected by that. That's actually cool to know that people are actually affected by that, because I thought it was just people making shit up.
You know, because my son noticed it too. He was like, "What's wrong with the game?" I don't know. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this is what the photo mode is supposed to be, since I've never used a photo mode before. So I went into the settings to, thinking that I need to turn it off or something like that, and I could not find anything in the settings that would get rid of that black frame.
Oh, you know what happened? The update, it reset the display settings, the display area settings. And that's the reason why you see the border around it. Yeah, there's a way to fix it.
I went back to, I think, like was it video or something like that? I think I went back to, I hit the default, to default settings, and that black border is still there.
No. See if this works. Did you see the fix that I sent you, or the one that's in there? You got to go to like the PlayStation dashboard and go into settings and select sound and screen, and then display area settings, and then hold the up button on the D-pad until the corner markers can no longer expand any further, and you only see blue.
Okay.
That's weird, man. That's crazy. That's crazy that even happened, though.
Let me see here.
Man,
I'm signing in. You know what? Because it's so many groups on Google Hangout that I don't know what's what. But so how about you send it to Twitter?
No, I sent it to the Google Hangout chat that we're in the actual Google Hangout that we're in right now.
Oh, in the ongoing call?
Yeah, in the ongoing call.
It hasn't showed up yet.
No, if you go to the live that we're in right now, as if you're going to share your screen, if you look to the right, you see how it has the group chat window right there?
Just a minute.
It shows to list of, yeah.
Okay. All right. I got it. Oh, let me
got it, bro.
take this off. Shit, I had this thing on me the whole time. My bad. I still had my box highlighted from the last time I shared the screen. My bad. Look like I'm hogging up all the shit.
Oh, man.
So I'm about ready to close shop because I gotta finish getting my shit together for work in the morning and then hop into bed. Not to mention, I like to close my night out by watching YouTube. So
watching YouTube, he says.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to like 55 people. So there's always something to watch every day.
Okay.
So, and I'm always checking my phone for alerts. Like, who's this? I got an alert from Young, and it says something that suggested EA is abandoning ship on the on Battlefront 2. So
that game should be $10 right now.
You left Battlefront 2, bro? Why you left Battlefront 2, bro? Battlefront 2 is amazing.
Yeah, but I guess I'm led to believe the EA gonna go ahead and chalk this one up as a loss as far as that game goes.
You think so? They ain't putting out no DLC or anything?
Well, since since Disney was breathing down their neck, I don't think they're gonna implement the kind of microtransactions that they wanted to implement in the beginning. With a pay-to-win progression system, and I don't. The game fell way short of their expectations because I heard they ran their mouths to the investors of how much money they think they're gonna get off of this game based on the projected sales. And when them You know, they didn't count on the community lashing out and fighting back and fucking everything up. So, you know, and that's definitely a story that Young has been following from day one, you know, so I definitely want to see what else he got.
Yo, shout out to Young bro. That's the most boring person I ever heard talk in my life, dog. That nigga sounds super sleepy every time I watch his video. But he was following that shit closely. When I say he was following that shit closely, every day I saw a new video from him.
Him like, in the bullshit, him in the bullshit with Bungie. He was following both of those situations closely.
Hulu down and not working on PS4 or Xbox One. Anybody still use Hulu? I don't use Hulu.
I use it on my smart TV, but on the Xbox, it was giving me so many problems with just stopping and freezing. I couldn't stand it, man. So it worked pretty good on my smart TV.
For a long time, Netflix didn't work on my Xbox. I don't know what the hell was wrong.
I gave up on same here. ESPN app is trash too. I don't use that.
Yeah, I think that was that's the frame rates. No, but that ESPN app do be bullshitting. Like, you know, I'll try to hit ESPN and just set it to play and then try to take a nap. It'll play the first video and then like the second video to say something like unable to play contents.
Yeah, it'll go to a commercial break or something. It would just say unable to play and then it would stop. It won't even go back to the game. Like I was trying to watch the game on it the other day.
Hey, tell me what y'all think about BioWare or EA having to come out and confirm that they'll have a single player in Anthem. Do y'all think that's problematic that these companies feel that they need to come out and confirm that they're going to have a single player now? I mean,
if you're a company like EA or Ubisoft that's trying to
loot box the hell out of people, with
multiplayer games,
man, I wish my son would ask me for a goddamn loot box. Yeah, you better you can spend your goddamn allowance on it. I ain't buying no goddamn loot boxes.
My son got me over the last couple of years with microtransactions. You know, at first I used to buy them every time he asked for them, but then when I like caught on to it, like especially out of all the microtransactions that he asked me, I think God of War was the most egregious.
God of War?
Not Gears of War.
Gears of War. Yeah.
I was trying to say, what loot boxes?
With those elite packs, because he would want a particular character, like one of them Carmine characters, Benjamin Carmine or Gary Carmine or something like that. He would want one of those characters, and the best odds of getting it would be to buy the most expensive elite pack or whatever it is, which was like $10-20 or some shit like that, because it would guarantee you that you would get at least one character.
And
so he was asking for and this is how he would ask me for him. He was like, we sitting there, I'm sitting there watching something on YouTube, and he'll be like, can I have a $5 microtransaction? And so with at least when he was asking me for it on Grand Theft Auto, you buy the shark card and then go out and buy shit with it, rather than the slot machine type shit that you were seeing on Gears of War. So
is Fortnite known for that too?
What? Yo, here's the thing. I don't know how Fortnite is convincing people to pay $20 for skins, dog. This shit is wild to me, dog.
Speaking of Lincoln's son, my son just got me with that. Because look,
it's a free to play game, and I don't think the gameplay is affected by you buying anything. Am I right?
Right, no, but still,
free to play and fee to pay. I mean, think about it. After you spend after you buy 3 microtransactions, you just paid for a full game.
Yeah,
and most people buy more than that. That's crazy.
Because he was like, I want this battle pass. So I'm thinking like it's like Call of Duty, like a map pack or something. I'm like, okay, is getting new maps or what's going on? He's like, oh, you're getting, emotes and dances and all this and outfits. And I'm like, huh?
Oh,
for $25?
Yo, was you able to fix it, Lincoln?
No, I didn't even read it yet because
okay.
Because truth be told, I'm going straight to bed now once this podcast is over. Now you was talking about that dances and shit, Gunru. Yeah. My son like damn near anything that's got a dab on.
It's more cosmetic stuff and cosmetic and
the crazy part about this dab shit is that like Cam Newton, for the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, he was like one of the first people that I was seeing, doing that shit, in terms of sports and entertainment and stuff. And they act like he was throwing up a fucking gang sign, like he was the biggest villain, in the NFL when he was doing it. And now you see fucking dabs on video games everywhere.
Yeah, it's more than just dabs too. You do all kind of crazy dances.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I see.
And that's where Star Wars Battlefront was trying to kill people with these emotes and these dances and shit like that. Because that was the hardest shit to unlock, not the heroes or the villains.
Wow, they doing dances and shit in freaking Star Wars?
Yeah, those emotes and shit like that.
Let's be honest.
They was trying to put that shit behind the paywall where the only way you could really unlock them was to pay for them with crystals. You buy the crystals, with real money. That was your microtransaction. That was the in-game money, was the crystals. And then you buy these emotes with the crystals.
Thank you, Sony. Thank you, Sony. You got me, man. That's the reason why I'm still gaming, is because of Sony.
Man,
it's crazy.
Listen, and they trying to everybody doubling down on this games as a service shit, man. I'm just sorry. I don't want to play any game where I have to be dependent on playing with other people. That's not the way I like the game, man. No. If I want a game, I want to be able to jump into something, play it myself, and then move the fuck on, bro.
Right.
But if every time I have to jump on the game, I gotta call my homies like, hey, bro, what you doing right now? Hey, you want to play this game? Oh, nah, you busy? All right, cool. I'm gonna have to wait till later then.
And then you can't play the game at all because it's not gonna be any fun.
I'm like,
hey, Gunru, does that sound familiar?
Sound very familiar. I mean, you had plenty of discussions about that.
The my player and the black. Yeah. Don't that sound familiar?
Sound very familiar. Yeah, yeah.
Yo, am I the only one that want all this battle royale shit to just die, bro? I just wanted to die.
I do too. Oh man, I can't stand it, man. I cannot stand it. I don't see what's so good about it.
I don't either. You die, you respawn, you try again. 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 I'm just like, dog. We as consumers, we are really we have really fallen into a sunken place, bro.
And what am I getting for doing that? Like, what is my reward? Even if I win, what am I getting?
Winner, chicken dinner. I guess. Fuck, I don't know. Yo, I'm telling you, look. My son sent me a message on PlayStation Plus, man. I mean, why am I saying PlayStation Plus? On the PlayStation. And he was like, he sent me a screenshot. I didn't even know he knew how to do screenshots. But he sent me a screenshot, and the screenshot said, "Greatness awaits." And he's showing himself winning in Fortnite, bro. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, I wanted to say, you use greatness awaits a little wrong there, buddy. But okay, I can dig it. I can dig it, son. I can dig it. Oh man,
daddy, looking like a true Xbot.
Nah, he plays that on PlayStation. He don't play it on Xbox.
Not only that, it's free. It's free on the PlayStation. The way I watched Porter Rock stream where he said you don't have to have a PlayStation Plus membership to play it.
You don't have to have a PlayStation Plus membership to stream any free games, or to be able to play any free games, online or offline.
I gave it a chance this weekend, and I just maybe because I was playing it by myself. I don't know.
It's not for everybody, bro. It don't matter who you playing with. That shit ain't gonna be for everybody. Yo, you know what happened, dog? Gaming has turned into a social experiment, dog. Like, I don't know who said that or where I got that from, but I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That is right. That is true. That is exactly what this shit is. I saw somebody trying to justify saying, oh, it's not the game's fault that you can't have fun with it. You got to learn how to use your imagination. They were referring to Sea of Thieves. I'm like, bruh, imagination will only take you so far. Really? Sea of Thieves took me to the edge of a cliff and made me want to jump off that motherfucker. That's what Sea of Thieves did.
Damn.
That's just that dog. I'm like, bruh, excuse after excuse after excuse to the point where now you're saying developers don't even have to make the game fun anymore. So The developers can lack imagination, but we're not supposed to lack imagination? Bro, when did these roles get reversed, bro?
Right.
When did this shit happen, bro? If I wanted to make a game fun, then I would get into the game development business and start making games. I don't make games. I like to play games. That's how it's always been, bro.
Right.
I don't understand what's up with these new age
If it's up
retarded ass
to
gamers,
your
dog.
imagination, then shit. Then Microsoft might as well just go ahead and throw some damn shit out there where you can make your own games or whatever.
They did. It's called Project Spark, but they got canceled.
That's
crazy.
surprising.
Well, they shut down the servers, I should say.
Man, it is just terrible, man. It's
Yo,
terrible.
I can't wait for Ark to come out for fucking the Switch, man. I'm dying to see how that's gonna run on the Switch.
Oh God. Yo, you finna kill him already, Fatal. You finna
I don't
kill
give a
him
fuck.
already, bro.
When they announced that, dude, I was like, bro, the fact of the matter is that I have to fucking sit there and do a slideshow when I load in a fucking base in that game. How in the fuck is the Switch gonna run that shit? That bitch is gonna run at fucking 12 frames per second tops.
But what if
No one
it actually runs better?
If it runs better,
Hey,
then
the one named Shadow just said 240p on the Switch.
240p confirmed. Dynamic to 120p.
Shit, maybe actually now that you brought that up,
Crayola Crayon to draw a better picture on the damn screen.
It might actually be better, actually, because if they lower down the draw distance and actually pre-render the stuff in as you're going in, that might actually be a little bit less on the fucking hardware, but that game is gonna run like garbage.
Dude, Code Vein looks so good, dog. Oh my god. I cannot wait to play Code Vein.
Another goddamn Dark Souls clone.
Oh, it's gonna release in 2 months. Oh, just 2 more months.
Oh god, it's gonna release in 2 months. What are we to do, boys?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to play it. Oh, yes. Oh.
Don't cream your pants waiting for it.
Yo, we need Assault and Sanctuary too, man. I don't like how that shit ended at the end, bro. So I think we need to get a part 2. We need to get the full realization of that game. That game was fucking amazing too.
Love and expectation.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We gotta go there. We gotta get that game, bro.
All right, gentlemen, let's get some outro so I can go ahead and close shop.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I love fucking with Sick, man.
Oh yeah.
Y'all you two crack me up, man. I love it when you two get together, man. That's the 1-2 punch whenever you two get
natural
together.
occurrence, right? This guy jizzing over fucking Japanese fucking trash, and meanwhile I'm sitting here playing Conan.
Listen, Code Vein. Conan? Really? Really?
Yo, I would be so curious to see what the fuck this motherfucker would actually fucking make, dude, in this game. That would tickle my fancy. God. I would like to see a house be done and a house be made fucking from Sick humor, dude. I think that'd be fucking lit.
Nope.
He would make that shit ghetto as fuck. He would make it the fucking Predator's hideout, man.
So let me remind everybody to tune into the Lincoln Show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, where my guest will be Game Over HD. And I've already have a list of questions prepared for him, and it's going to be a good show. So make sure you check it out. Do not miss it. And so with that being said, how about you, Gunru? Go ahead and hit it.
This is Gunru Gaming. Had fun being on with you guys tonight, and looking forward to hopefully coming back on again and doing the same thing, talking gaming. You can follow me on Twitter at Gunru Gaming till I get this first video popping and get it out there and get my channel started.
No doubt. Stop dragging your damn feet. Let's get that video out there and get this channel going.
I'm gonna get it out so everybody can know who I am. It's gonna be my intro video. It's coming.
No
soon.
doubt. Canadian Grizzly Bear, you up?
Fucking goddamn it. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on your show as usual. Again, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. Thanks for having me. Fatal Mephisto here. Thanks for having me, man. It's all good. I'm up this bitch, man.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, Mr. Sick Humor.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck, bro? That's your piper, bro. Motherfucker.
Hey, he should do an intro on his next video. Oh.
It's been great, guys. I definitely do appreciate everybody coming out, and yeah, game on. I am in a room. I am in a room. I'm in a dark room. I'm in a dark room, a dark, scary place. Yes.
Motherfucker, man, what the fuck have you been smoking? Where the fuck can I get some, bro?
Right.
I'm on that life.
You on that fuck shit, bro?
I'm high on life, guys. Oh, but listen. Fuck. Definitely check out Lincoln's Clay video tomorrow. Game Over HD will be on.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, can we end this, please?
I know, because he said that shit all
my ass the fuck out. Goddamn.
All right, y'all. This is your boy Lincoln Clay. I definitely want to thank Sick Humor, Fatal Festival, the Canadian Grizzly Bear, and Gunroom Gaming. I appreciate y'all coming by. This was definitely a good podcast. Wow, 3 hours. I think this is only the second time I've done a podcast that went over 3 hours. So thank you very much. And it was a great podcast. I hope y'all like it. Make sure you give it a like. If you happen to catch the replay, make sure you give it a like and close the door behind you as you leave. And I appreciate everybody coming out. And so from us to y'all, that's going to do it. We will catch y'all later, and we are out.
Milk bags away.
Fuck you. Yo,